What's the meaning of this disturbance?
I gotta edit that shit out. But I love the intro now. It's a little bit better than last time. Caesar's always dogging me because I have the W messing up. It's all good. Damn it, it's already out. There you go. Stop acting like an iPhone camera. Damn it. So with that being said, we got Caesar here again. Another fucking show with the comic menu. Me and Caesar doing it again. You know how we do it. You know, whatever.
Yeah, I gotta admit, I every single time now that intro plays, I always bob my head, and there's no W missing, so I think we're all right. We're gonna have a good show, man. We got a couple people on here, and we're gonna talk some stuff.
We have some big, not a big news. Just something we need to talk about first, and then we talk about specs, talk about Transformers came out with a lot of good ratings, and we have obviously Spider Verse comparing those two, see how that goes for the rest of the summer. But before we can continue, this is our another co-host. I needed to bring in their brain. I had to bring another brain because the guy, our guest today, talks spec more than a lot of people would talk about their mamas. And I need to catch up to him, right? But then I brought Nick, and then like, fuck, it's Nick. He doesn't know about comics
Oh,
either.
how'd they call me
What's up,
last time? The pretty one?
Oh, no, that you're mistaken, bro. I've always I got look at this lined up. You know,
Damn.
I had to be pretty now.
Looking
Caesar,
trim.
Caesar said I don't look like a bum now, so I'm
That's true.
Looking good.
What's up? What's up? How you doing? What's up, people? What's up, Peter? Peter. Talking about Peter, we got. Well, before we jump on to our guest, Nick, just from the comic book page. We are all group admins, peoples, so
Yellow.
we know each other. But we're gonna bring somebody, another admin from a different page, and like I said, he knows his shit. You have questions, he has answers.
Thank God someone on here will know their shit.
Yeah, I mean he's an issue, but no, it's playing. But he's a good guy. So without any further notice, we got Ish from Comic Sense.
Yo.
Oh, he got his merch going on, don't you?
Oh yeah. All
Excellent.
day. Yo. What up?
What's happening?
Nice to meet everybody. Nice to be here.
Yeah, we weren't unfortunately we weren't able to get you on in the other show we've had, but we got you here at One Piece, and then we're actually going to try to get you to another podcast with Brett and Steven then because we want to expose Comic Sense as much as possible.
Oh, that's awesome. Appreciate it. I've watched your other show.
Oh, the Comic Fans, and
Yeah.
it was. We just passed it today. They're talking about that. We just passed the Comic Fanzine in followers today. We were at 2K, which we're happy about, but we're going to continue growing and pushing that up. No thanks to Caesar, but we've been doing a great job.
Yeah, congratulations, man. 2K is a big milestone. Congratulations on that.
And we got a lot of things in the works.
Fast.
Little hush yet, but we got some stuff percolating in the coffee pot there. But big things.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. I've been following Dell for a minute, and by virtue of that, Caesar. Really quick, if y'all don't mind, I just want to shout out my people in the room, if y'all don't mind. Man, shout out to y'all Comic Sense Crowd Community crew. Shout out to J Rob, Abby, Pete Maresca. Appreciate y'all showing up, supporting the comic menu, Del Guzman, Caesar, Nick. Really, really appreciate y'all, man. Y'all always show up and show out. So we're gonna party
Thank
tonight.
you.
I was seeing some new names on here. I'm like, they're coming up for the Ish.
Oh, of course, they come for the Ish.
Come for the
Ish. They want to get those good deals that he provides all the time.
Robin Hoods of the unfair market.
There we go. That's what he says. Because I was telling Nick of what you do is that you always sell at what you receive. You don't go over or maybe a little bit under if it's a back issue, but it's always at the price that you got it at. So that's good to have it there for a lot of people that want to get the most up-to-date books on there.
Well,
Nice.
I got to keep it real with you real quick because it's not always. And I got to really, that's why I shouted out the Comic Sense crew that showed up to the party. They really help us. we definitely want to give people the best value on the unfair market period while being able to keep the lights on. So that's kind of our goal. We got a full-fledged middle finger to the unfair market because we collect, you know. So we want to pay. You know,
we have a lot to talk about that. And before we continue, and I'm going to pause it here, we have to talk about a legend that just passed away yesterday, John Romita Sr. Good guy, great artist. Rest in peace, and condolences to his family. Before we continue, I want to go and pass around Caesar, and then Nick, and then the Nish. Can you guys give either you want to say a cover, what he's done in the community that you want to shout out to, because we want to give much positivity to the people, like what he's done. I'm gonna give you some time, Caesar, because I know you're thinking you take forever, but he's done a lot. You know, I mean, he's done a lot of covers, a lot of interiors. Everybody was sharing them out. Everybody was sharing it out. So if you have something, even in the comment section, if you have a cover that you love from John Romita Sr., please let us know. Shout it out, Caesar. Go ahead. What do you want to say about it?
You know, John Romita is one of those guys that.
What up, James?
He's a pioneer, right? He's one of those that, like Kirby, you see his art right away. You know it's a Romita, right? Right away, you know it's a Kirby. Right away, you know it's. And he took over. I think when Ditko's last cover, I think was either ASM 33 or 34, one of those two, and that's when Romita kind of took over.
Listen to you.
And the thing is that he's the people's Spider-Man. That's my Spider-Man. When I see his covers, that's my Spider-Man. That's what I relate to. Right? Yeah. People are like, McFarlane's my Spider-Man, or
Mr. Russell.
Even anyone, right? But Romita Senior is my Spider-Man, and it's sad. You know what's sad is that we're reaching that point in time in our lives that we are slowly losing the greats. We lost Neo Adams, we lost Perez. They're getting to the point now where it's like they're getting older, man. We're not turning back time, and now it's just you kind of have to reflect. So
look behind you, bro. They're all on the wall right there.
Enjoy the artists of the past, because they are the reasons why our future artists and like what's the William just jump in. Here you go.
Absolutely.
They're the ones. They're the ones that like I wanted to be like so and so. So it is what it is, man. But it sucks.
Yep.
So Steve should give me a shout out ish. That's the group that I want you to jump on next with Wise Guys Collectibles. Another podcast I do is they're on Saturdays. Another group of guys. So like I said, I wanted to reach out to Steve to see if we can get you on there as well. Get you some more.
It's interesting because I believe Steve was on All of the Spec show a couple weeks ago, and he said he wanted to do a collaboration or what have you, which I was kind of looking forward to. So I'm kind of glad you're bringing that up because I'm definitely down. Oh, real quick, I just wanted to say, man, the intro to the show, man, that beat drops, bro.
Right?
Yeah, that's nice.
Like it drops. I was sitting there bouncing my head, man.
I told Dale every single time we played, you do one of these, right?
Dude, I've been working on editing all day today. While I was on calls because I'm working here, and then
James?
I got some time to mess with this, mess with that, download this, and then it was like, oh, it's finally something a little bit. I need to learn. I really do need to learn a lot more. But go ahead, Nick. You're next, and we have. I know Ish is going to talk for a good 5 minutes, so we need to make sure that it's not. And look, don't look around, don't look away, don't side eye me. I know you were ready. What's going to happen?
I'm gonna cut a promo.
There we go. So, Nick, you're next, brother.
I don't have any one cover necessary, but I'm an ASM collector. So, obviously, there's a huge run of Romita Senior in there, and they're all fantastic covers. And I mean, look what he did for his son, just to be, JR. I mean, look at what he left with him, just from being him, and then he got to live this whole the same life, and he got to draw Spider-Man and everything else he did. It's really cool, and I don't know. I love Spider-Man. He's a huge part of it, and that's where I'm at with it. I love to collect ASM, and his covers are most important. And it's sad he's gone, man. He's 90. He did it.
Yeah, no, he lived a long
won.
life.
He
lived a
won,
long
dude.
life. Yeah,
He won.
Yeah, he did win in life. It's true.
So, and then ASM40. That's another one I had. So ASM40 was a badass cover. Ish, go ahead.
I've
You
got
want to
'em
do your
all.
promo? Drop it.
Well, first of all, with John Romita Sr., I'm going to drop 2 covers real quick just because it displayed his range to me. His 25th anniversary, Marvel 25th anniversary Care Bears cover, and his A-Team cover, which I have sitting over there because I love that book. Obviously, we could speak to the obvious covers that he dropped. He was in Defying ASM. I don't want to disrespect the dead because he was always meh for me, and his son is even a bigger meh, but he is a legend.
Now
I remember growing up reading comics and I'd see his work in Marvel Tales, and it was seamless. You know, I was as a kid, you know, I was fascinated by people like Art Adams or what have you. And when I read a Spider-Man, because I love Spider-Man, got the tattoo on my shoulder. When I read a Spider-Man book and I saw Romita Senior's work, it was just seamless. It was like you don't question who this artist is, you don't criticize. It's just when a book is so good that you're not, because I'm critical of art, that you're not criticizing the art. And we're talking about a legend. So that's all I'm going to say about John Romita Sr. I don't want to say anything disrespectful. I think he is a legend. I think he defined Spider-Man as we know him. So
good.
This is shorter than I thought it was going to be. Even with you.
I think we threw him a
I just think comic book art was different back then. You know, it was a different thing. Like if you look at Jack Kirby, like it's my favorite art, but if you look at it compared to what today's artists are doing, it's boring and you can copy it. But it was his thing, and you know Kirby from anywhere. I love it. I would prefer to have that kind, because to me it just looks like a comic book when I look at that. Today everything is like a movie, like the way people are drawing these things. It's so ridiculous.
It's an excellent
artists
point
are
too.
incredible.
Also you got like AI and digital art, and it's it's something different now. So you're right. Like Kirby changed the game. Obviously, Kirby was like introducing Superman in the comics, right? Like Kirby changed the game, and then you had Neil Adams, game changer. You know what I mean? And then again, Art Adams, game changers. You know what I mean? Like these are people that influenced art. George Perez, that influenced artists, probably generations of artists.
Yeah. No, it's the thing is that Nick, it's like comparing. Well, the cars from 1945 are a lot different from the cars today. Yeah, because they have more. Imagine what Kirby could do, and Romita can do, and all those guys with all the new stuff that the artists use now, the new pens, all the
well, that's why I appreciate that old stuff, because they didn't have shit,
right?
And they were writing books for children. They were making books for kids. It was soft art, it was different. Now everything's got to be so crazy because we're still those kids. I feel like no kids read comic books anymore. Like children, they don't read them. Adults read comic books or look at comic books or collect comic books.
It's interesting because I'm not really critical of art anymore. It all looks the same to me. For me, the story has to sell me, because it's very difficult right now for me to discern one artist from the next, from the next, from the next, from the next. And this is not a knock on, your David Nakayamas or your Art Germans, but I see one of their covers, and unless I look for their signature, I can't really tell the difference. And it's not a knock. It's someone mentioned in the commentary, it's a lot of this AI enhancement or this digital art or what have you, and it's gorgeous, but it's all gorgeous now.
Yeah, I'll say this real quick. I know a lot of people give this guy heat for whatever drama went on in their life. Clayton Crane, that guy can straight up draw, and when he just puts ink down on a paper, he draws like no one else. Still, I mean, I don't care what he does with his life; doesn't matter to me. I watched the guy in person draw some shit right out of his hand that is amazing, with ink and paint, holding 20 pens, getting it done in 5 minutes. And I think he's amazing. I know it's repetitive. He has like a way he does things, but I just think he is really excellent.
Have you seen Sana Takeda?
I don't know. I don't know what that is. No. Or who's that?
She's the artist on Monstrous.
Monstrous has
that.
been some good covers. Have you seen that cover?
Stuff.
Okay.
They had some good covers out there for Monstrous.
Mhm.
I'm just talking about like a big name who puts out a bunch of shit that you can't tell
Mhm.
the difference between everybody's stuff. Like Delato was cool for a while, but now his stuff just looks like weird digital, like you could barely see it prints. Like he specializes in that. Like it's in the dark. If
What
you
up,
look
John?
close, it's
What
real
up, James?
grainy.
Will? I'm gonna say real quick.
Alex?
The next time y'all have me on, and hopefully y'all will have me on again, could y'all get me on with Anvu? Speaking of dope artists, I watched her on one of y'all shows recently with my homie Kevin Delgado, Kevin Delgado. And I'm watching her do this pen and ink deal.
Yeah, on the shirt, right?
That is fire. I think it was like Black Cat or what have you. Fire.
Yeah. Dude, $60 or something. She sells those for like $60.
Listen, I want to get one. I would like to get a piece, like a piece of her work.
What's up, John?
Another artist right there, becoming artist. Listen, man. And I'll say it again. Every single time Dale and I go live, all our artist friends jump in the comments. They may stick around for a little bit, but Will, John, a lot of times in
their own way.
Oh, speak of the devil. Speak of the devil. We have
there she is
in
right
the
there.
comment section.
Hey,
I want to figure out how to get some custom art from Anvu. It was fire.
She's
fire.
here.
Yes, I just saw.
Okay.
Let me see.
Excellent.
Where is it? Right here.
But you know what? To me, art is it's evolving, and everyone's. I'm starting to really realize people have their different. Like if I see William's piece, like this piece right here,
Sick.
I can tell it's a William Russell.
Yeah,
his art is very distinctive. The same with
great.
The same with Ivan Tao, another good friend of ours.
Like Ivan's how he does the women is crazy. With William, I like how he always does the smiles or the teeth. They always look like fierce or gruesome. Depending on what he's doing, because he's had a couple of covers with Psycho Sal that came out pretty badass. Yeah. And I'm enjoying those. On overall, it has like a Japanese aesthetic, more or less, but in a cool version, because you can also you can tell the difference between her and like Peach Momoko, because she has her own style. And I know Ish was saying that you get everything looks the same, it's all beautiful, but with me, I'm not a big reader like you are. I'm more into the art. Yeah. And with that, I can tell certain things on certain artists that I prefer. Like I like John Yang's colors, right? I like the eyes that Ariel Diaz does on her covers. So it's like little things here and there. Who's that?
That's that Jang.
Yo, listen. I just want to say really quickly, speaking of artists, just really quickly, I got some dope custom art from some fire people. Shout out to Western New York. Shout out to John Brugman. A real dope artist from Western New York, the homie John Brugman, Kevin Delgado, Nick Elkhorn. You want to talk about some fire artists?
Yep.
Sorry, got to shout out the Western New York, Buffalo, New York art community.
Oh, we have Kevin on here.
Where's Martin at?
I just scribble, embrace the anime manga wave. You know what? I've been seeing a lot that Jameson has a point. There's a lot of that I've been noticing, a lot of anime style kind of art. I dig it because I love anime. I watch it all the time, right? This weekend, you're going to see that they're going to drop the Black Clover. The Black Clover. The movie's going to come out this weekend. So I'm fucking can't wait for that. But Dale, I'll have you show off the new stuff I've been out. And John has been on here, right, John?
Yeah, John was on the Comic Fanzine show, our old podcast.
John is fire.
Yeah, John's good too, man. I mean, listen, I can't say enough. But I'm not going to lie, though, Ish. I have seen art out there, and I will keep my mouth shut, but it's pretty bad.
Say it.
No. We like to keep.
Do I got to keep my mouth shut, Dale? Let me know now.
No.
You already know how I go.
No, you're good.
You're whoever, but Dale and I, a lot of times we have to bite our lip because we do have a podcast, and sometimes. We do like to have certain guests on, and if they know someone who they know someone, then. But just in general, there are certain artists out there on the Facebook world that I see, and I keep my mouth shut because I'm like, that's so bad, and yet, once again, art is in the eye of the beholder. Once again, what I say is shit. Someone else goes, man, that's badass. Okay, and that's
I know artists that I'm cool with. So I agree with you. I'm not going to say any names. I've seen artists get exclusive covers, and I'm like, man, stop it. Stop it.
Yeah.
Just
So
stop
I'm
it.
gonna,
Like,
I'm
why?
gonna say it. I'm
Why?
gonna say it. No, I shouldn't say it because I need to keep it like.
Sometimes it's who you know. You know.
Yeah,
Did
like
you have-
fucking Javon Jordan's and one of those people that shouldn't have gotten covers.
Yeah, but if they know you, they're supposed to keep it real with you. Like, keep it real with me. Tell me,
I-
nah, bruh. Nah, man, that ain't it. Like, say it.
Here's a guy who also doesn't get enough. Like everybody knows who this is, but he doesn't really get like that much respect. I've seen this guy draw some serious shit.
That's
Brian Silverbacks, man. The
Oh,
guy's
Silverbacks.
Brian, dude, he
Brian's
has been
good.
guy's unreal. And how is he not drawn for Marvel, dude?
Well, listen,
He posted like a Spider-Man Venom, I don't know, chase scene, Carnage. I don't know. I don't remember what it was, but it was in your face, badass, colored. He colors it. He draws. He did it all. And I said, "Is that a cover you're putting out?" He's like, "No." Like, why? Why is that not on a book? And all this other, I'll just say dog shit for lack of a better term. But
listen, there's
I mean,
a lot of artists out there who
there's a lot of shit that are
there's-
getting on real books, and I don't
there's a lot of
understand it.
artists out there who should be getting a lot of recognition that they
some
don't
of
get.
like everyone. I
who
regard
you
some
know,
of them.
who you know.
It's who you know,
Exactly.
and William
Yeah.
says too. It's also, I'm not, William will say it, as we know. Just a quick little promo. We're going to be on that dude's first show tomorrow. Dell and I, along with Amy,
That's it, yeah.
another good artist, and
She
Sean.
did our logo and she has other covers, so I'm
And-
shout out to
but-
Amy on that.
If you're going to be a good, this is my perspective. If you're going to be a good artist and you're going to be successful, yeah, attitude
Jamie, I
has
disagree.
attitude has something to do with it.
I will
And
say this. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You said if you have a shitty attitude and you're known in the industry to have a shitty attitude, no one's going to want to work with you. And you could draw and you could be the next Da Vinci.
Mm.
But
I
if
see a
you
lot
have
of
an
artists
attitude of an
complaining.
ass, then,
I feel
I do
like
see a lot of complaining, whining.
Jesse Hickson says art is so subjective. Some will like everyone's art regardless of what others think. Okay,
Mhm.
that's a valid point. But if you're drawing Crayola stick figures, stop it. Stop it.
I'm
Like if
out.
that's what it amounts to, stop it. Nope.
I'm-
There is something. There is the idea of universally you suck, and people can tell that. You know how you see a fine woman, everyone can tell she's a 10, and she's a 9. The
noticed.
universal pretty. There is universal ugly when it comes to art, just like there's universal dope, and that's what we're talking about. We're talking about. I assume Caesar was mentioning. I know I was talking about those cover artists that everyone can look at it and be like, nah, bro. No. That's what we're talking about. Universally bad.
Let me show you some things. I
Not
like.
bad to some, but dope to others. Scotty Young's baby covers, for instance.
See, Scotty Young's not my cup of tea.
I like
just isn't.
most of his stuff.
But hey, the Duke could draw. I've seen his other stuff. And I'm
It's
like,
fire.
And I'm like, oh, that's Scotty Young, right?
Right.
I didn't really. When I saw Picasso, I'm a Picasso guy, but when I saw Picasso's earlier impression, I was like, wow, that's Picasso. I didn't realize he drew that. So it's a lot of times people buy what people like. People like what people buy. I don't give a shit. Just be a good person. That's the way I see it, man.
David
got that-
Sanchez,
Got that
good
original.
person, great artist.
No, David
We're-
Sanchez is fire too. Yeah.
So like Ramsey, he runs the local Comic-Con down here. He's a good guy. He worked up and he built it up so much. But this is exactly what gets me. I miss covers that made you want to know what happens in the comic. If their cover is that good, I tend to read it. Like some of these Venom covers, I play with it and see what's inside and read it. Not because I'm following the series, it's because I want to see what's inside and see the art's working. I just tend to read on that. I miss a lot of comments.
Kitty Pryde and Wolverine, I believe it's number 5 or number 6, where she's impaling Wolverine on the cover
Fresh, Kevin.
with the katana.
Mhm.
You want to open up that book and see
Oh,
what
yes.
happens.
No, you're right. Sometimes covers do sell the inside, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I hear you. I feel you. I wish I could
Yeah,
read,
all
but I
day.
don't read. Ish, I don't know if you know that. Well, you know that about me. I don't read, so I don't.
Ours is respect to each
I didn't know
other.
that.
It's true. That is
Huh?
true, James.
I didn't know that.
Oh, because I thought you figured you saw the past shows. Yeah, I don't read. I've never read a comic book in my
I
life.
collect our germ
Okay.
covers.
Wow.
We had our germ. Yeah, hold on. debunk that bullshit he just said. We had Art Germ, the owner, on last week. You should have seen that show. He's cool. There's cool guys. What was it? 3 weeks ago, we had him read a comic so we can do a comic review. So you can't say you've never fucking read if you've already read.
I never read a comic from beginning to end and close.
You've never read
in my
one
life.
with intent to give a shit. What's
I've
in
never read what we did. Someone sent us a PDF of what, a page, I think it was, right, to review it. Like
I don't read
panels,
either.
and that's it. That's all it was. So I don't really.
Does anybody have the book handy right now? The Uncanny X-Men 141 ad.
I got it.
Oh, put it out. I want to see what he's talking about. Honestly, like I want to see what that is. As an example.
This guy. Yeah, I got a 141 sitting next to my thigh.
I got a
Slabbed out.
That one, yes. Okay.
Slabbed out. I mean, I have one, but it's in a box. I gotta go get it.
That's the with all the dead mutants on the cover.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That's
the
cool.
cover, yes, that one for sure.
No, there's some iconic covers that.
I mean, I'm an X-Men guy. You can't ask me if anyone has an X-Men book. I'm just gonna. They're everywhere.
Is that's your preference, X-Men?
Yeah, I'm the X-Men guy.
Nice. I'm a collector. I collect X-Men.
Burning right art. There's no doubt about it. With some modern possible. So, and you know what I love is that there's a lot of upcoming artists, and they're just everywhere. You can and nowadays, and people are gonna hate on this, but TikTok. There's a lot of these TikTok artists, and they don't not just the digital artists, right? Because they obviously some people hate on that, because there's a difference between AI art and digital art, and with your hand and paintbrush or whatever. But there's people that will be live and just show you this on Facebook. I've been seeing less and less, and I think it's because they hate the algorithm on Facebook, and they're going into TikTok, Twitch, or Kick or different streams so like they can show their art. But if you just go there and just wait, they're like their ideas are a little bit, especially the younger people, they will mix everything. I love. There was one artist I love on TikTok that will get Batman an Aztec look, Superman a Mayan look, and because of my heritage, right? So I enjoy that kind of art. I like those ideas. Obviously, I love the old covers. I sold my BA12 and I regret that, but I want to get it back. And there's so many homages to BA12 with different people. So old school stuff is always gonna stay in my mind. Like, oh, they are, and you're right, bitch. All this modern stuff is pretty, but they're not gonna stick to you like the keys. Like honestly, like that. Like a Venom, right? Lethal Protector. You're
It's that
gonna
Bagley cover, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're gonna that one's gonna pop out automatic. Oh, I've seen that cover. When you see it like on when Venom came out and there was like all this stuff, like you see all these posters of Lethal Protector #1, you're like, oh, you get excited because you know it. Like, oh, I read this when I was a child. It's there. My kids can see it. So
Frank Miller on Wolverine #1.
Yeah, I mean that's iconic,
Yeah.
right? The iconics. You know what? I could pull out any of these books behind me, and you're like, "That's iconic." Oh, Silver Surfer #1, that's iconic. And I don't know. I just, this is why I collect Silver Age and early Bronze, because one, Golden Age is it's a whole different situation.
Savage Dragon.
You'll lose your shit.
I'm very jealous right now because I love Savage Dragon.
Savage Protector right there.
Savage Protector.
Listen, I just want to say really quick to the Comic Sense people in the room, I want to tell you what you're doing right now. You're watching the Comic Menu, Del, Caesar. Listen, if y'all haven't been tuning in every week, I need to tune in every week. They've had Kevin, the people that they have on the show, like, yo, I'm surprised I'm able to be in this company, and this is real. And I want to tell you why I'm really, really, really behind them and why I'm really behind Del. Because in our community, we want you to win. We want you to have all the information. We operate with full transparency. And one of the things that Del does is he gets to the bottom of things in this comic community. Go to his Facebook page, because he was just talking about AI art versus digital art. Whole conversations about that on his page. They get to the bottom of things in this community. They keep you informed. That is what it is. This is your first time checking them out. Don't let it be your last time.
Yeah,
Real
go
talk.
follow.
Like.
It's just spitting out the
Please.
So there's a good question here, and I love that Billy brought this up. So does iconic mean good art? And we had this discussion that Ish just said he didn't like John Romita Sr.'s that much. But he appreciated he is still a legend, right? So what are some of the older, not excluding John Romita Sr., right? What are some of the older iconic covers that you do not like but appreciate and know that it's still like an iconic cover regardless? I will go with
Mm.
this first.
Incredible Hulk 347.
Can you show that one?
It's the Wolverine. It's the Incredible Hulk reflected in Wolverine's claws that
340.
people have
okay,
homaged.
340.
340.
340.
Yeah, that people
There we
have
go.
homaged 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I'm just gonna jump on a limb and say most of Todd McFarlane's covers.
Done to death.
Most of his iconic covers, because he's got a bunch,
Yeah.
and I appreciate them and respect them as iconic.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my favorite McFarlane covers are actually the ones with the Gray Hulk.
The Gray
Those are
Hulk.
Those are my favorite covers.
I you know, I don't know.
There's one with a rainbow on it. I forgot what number that is. It's a
Alex Ross.
rainbow and the Gray Hulk. I don't know.
Oh,
I
I've
think that's
seen
the
that one.
Clayton Crane homage, right? I know he homaged it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're
Everybody
talking
has.
about the
No, I'm talking about the actual Hulk
McFarlane
run.
cover.
Yeah, the Gray Hulk.
It's true.
McFarlane run.
What Alex Ross is one of my favorites. Alex Ross is.
They look like photographs, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know that you can call Avengers Annual 10 iconic.
Which one?
Hideous.
Avengers.
It's an
Billy
ugly ass book.
Shaka is saying Iron Man #1, which I think is iconic. I don't know that you can call Avengers Annual 10 an iconic cover though. I don't
It's
think
just a key.
Yeah.
It's just a key.
It's just an ad, pretty much.
It's ugly as
But
shit.
you recognize it though. It's recognizable.
Yeah, it's
That's
ugly though.
for sure.
It hurts my eyes.
It hurts my eyes. Spider McFarlane #1, Homage to Death. Dude, yeah, that is homage crazy.
Hey,
Oh
it's,
yeah, that. Oh,
it's an
that
investment for sure. It's an investment for sure.
Some people think that's the ugliest cover Avengers ever did.
It's really bad. But I don't think it's iconic.
It's iconically known as one of the worst Avenger covers.
Fucking
Yeah, but you know what? You know what this cover does do though? It makes you want to read the book.
That's true, and that's what Ramsey said earlier. That is a good point.
Get this cover out of my way.
But you know what though also is, you know what that cover does? It lets you know exactly what that is. It's an Avengers Annual 10.
Yeah.
First appearance right away because it's so everyone knows that cover, either for being the worst Avengers cover, or some people think it's the best because it has little panels and all that shit.
So while I have you here, we were talking about our lineup. Jesse, you're right. I'm not second responsibility for this art, but people love it. That's correct. But we were talking about lineup, and I think you would know who this person is. We're gonna have Rodney Barnes right next month.
So jealous.
You know who he is, right?
Absolutely.
There we
He's
go.
He's writing a comic book that everybody should have every issue of. Philadelphia. He's also writing Mandalorian. Like Rodney Barnes is dope.
Yeah,
and he writes for TV.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we're gonna have him on.
So the first time I ever knew about him was Boondocks. So that's what I had learned him from, and then I looked. I mean, he is the one that wrote this, and he's doing the documentary for the Lakers.
It's not a documentary, TV show on HBO Max. He writes that joint.
A TV show, my bad. But so I'm like, this guy is.
Awesome.
I reached out, I talked to his people, and he said yes. And then on this day, I'm like, yes, this is awesome. I can't wait to get him on there.
That's
so we're gonna have him on. We have a good, as a matter of fact, we're booked till beginning of July.
August.
Actually.
Wow.
August now. So
that's really awesome.
No, you know what? What happens is that we've noticed when artists or any writers or anyone come on the show, one of the takeaways we've got is they kind of feel like they could geek out with friends. It feels like they could just kind of geek out and just talk, be normal.
Next time we have you on ish, we'll do the bracket. We'll do the bracket, right? That would be perfect because
those are fun.
Those are fun.
Well, he reads. He reads, so
yeah, exactly.
He'll know what's going on
in
the brackets.
This already knocked me down a few picks because he actually reads and go, "Well, I know exactly who that is." And
I don't read either, man.
Listen,
the only Marvel comic I ever read was like Moon Knight 1.
A comic, a big tenet of comic sense, and I know a lot of people say this, but we mean it. We say a big tenet of comic sense is spec. Yeah. And I know a lot of people like to spec. We use key collector for spec. One of my famous sayings is, if you're only using key collector for spec, it's not spec, it's disrespect. You also have to read. There's a lot of things going to spec, educated guesswork. right? Knowing characters, knowing storylines, keeping your ear to the street, reading is a big part of speculating as well. Otherwise, it's secondhand spec, which isn't bad. You
I
just
never
get
heard
it
of
from a source,
speculation in my life.
right? Right. Listen, I'm sitting on 21 first prints, right
Yep.
over there.
Yep.
Ooh.
And I sold that thing day one, 25% off cover.
Wow.
And now it's going to eBay just to make sure it gets money back.
No, it's going to CGC.
Oh, there we go.
But we sold a ton of them. We made
Oh,
sure
yeah.
that our community got them for 25% off cover because
Speaking
middle
about-
finger to the unfair market.
So
Yeah.
speaking about going back to where we were talking about schedule, we have Ariel Diaz on who I'm waiting for 1 or 2 responses for our drink and draw show. So we're gonna have women on our show. We're gonna see some key artists that are females, and they're gonna be drinking and drawing with us. And that'll be our first show with that. So we're shooting the shit and see how good they are, and see if they get drunker, their art gets better, or it gets worse. But I think it does get better because I bought this from on. Well, she was drunk, the Spider Gwen, and look, it comes out killer.
Pretty
You know what I mean?
badass, yeah. You know, speaking of key collector, I mainly use key collector for the keys. Literally,
Mhm.
if I don't remember, or the origins, right?
I don't
Like,
use
or
it.
the first appearance. Like, who's the first? What was the first appearance of Dr. Freeze or Mr. You know? and
Shout out
everything
Tyler
else,
Dallas
you know?
Johnson.
Oh well, yeah, that
Good
fool.
guy.
That
That
guy's
fool.
a-
What's up,
that
Tyler?
guy's a- Yeah, Tyler's
Got a great name.
Tyler's the
Tyler
shit right
Dallas.
I know. I know. Is that you? I'm not waiting on you. You and Ariel are booked. I'm talking about 2 other people.
No disrespect to Key Collector. I'm a fan. Shout out to Key Collector. I feel like they owe Comic Sense money. I'm going to leave it at that. But shout out to Key Collector. No disrespect. I like Key Collector as well. It's definitely a good measure.
there. Mhm. Yeah,
It is a good measure.
Don't use don't use. I tell the newbies, don't look at their prices and use that as a template, please.
Mhm.
Just go do your own homework, go do your stuff, but don't go.
I don't-
Oh, but
I
Key
don't use
Collector
it.
says it's $12 high. I'm like, don't.
Yeah.
don't.
The only problem that I have with Key Collector, because the owner's cool. I got a couple dope exclusive covers that he put out of Monstrous. Shout out to them. One of the problems I have is people use it as because it influences and dictates the market, right? Something comes up as an alert or pops up on Key Collector as an alert, everybody runs to eBay. By the time it's on Key Collector, it's generally too late. If you're talking, I'm not talking about a book that Key Collector lists as a key, you know, in order for you to determine, okay, why is this a key or what have you. I'm talking about when you get that alert, such and such just got cast in a movie, and everybody runs to eBay, and you see it's too late by then.
Right.
I was in the early stages. I was part of that. As soon as a so and so was casted, go to eBay, all sold. You get happy to get lucky, and you picked up one, and then you're fucked. It is what it is. It's just, but I don't do that anymore. I'm out of that.
Yo, Peter said what you. I couldn't say it, Peter. So I'm glad you said it.
People who know
They owe us money.
about they keep the Mysterious has it on their a day or 2 after.
They owe us money. That's I'm gonna leave it at that.
We all pay for Key Collector. No, I don't. I always.
I don't
No,
have
I
it.
do. I pay the $150 a month. It's perfect.
Yeah, me too.
$1.
I pay for the year.
Yeah, or whatever. Yeah, it doesn't. And listen, great tool. Love it. I use it every day. I'm like, who's the first appearance of? Oh, okay, cool. That's what I'm gonna go for. Like, I forgot that I'm trying to get a Gorilla Flash 106, the first Gorilla Grodd. I didn't realize that here was Flash 106 was the first appearance of Gorilla Grodd. So it's the kind of stuff like that. So
Wiki is
Cool,
dope
man.
too, though. The wikis are dope too. I think the wikis are more in depth than Key Collector actually is.
I just have CLZ just so I can organize my shit.
I usually go on eBay and just look that up.
Ish,
But
did
do
you,
that
go
too.
ahead, Dale. Go ahead.
no,
I
I'm
use
gonna change the subject. So go
GPA.
ahead.
No, so was I. But I was going to ask Ish. I'm assuming Ish, you already saw Spider-Verse, right?
Yes.
Actually, I'm changing it to that.
I have not.
You have not still? Damn it, Nick!
Oh, dude.
This guy.
When?
You can't even bootleg it.
Mm-mm.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
You can talk
But-
about it. It's gonna be a while before I see it. Talk about it.
Before I
Okay.
talk about it either way, Transformers did a lot better than Spider-Verse. I was surprised. I really was.
No, that's
I
because
understand-
Spider-Verse is already out. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about this past week. I'm talking about opening weekend versus opening weekend.
It's more recognizable, though.
Right,
It's a more recognizable property.
Exactly. That does not surprise me. At all. How can I put this? Many people will not go watch Into the Spider-Verse because they're like, I'm not going to go watch a cartoon. Period. It's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
But they will go watch Transformers because they grew up watching the cartoons. They bought all the toys when they were a kid. It's a completely 100% nostalgia feel where Miles Morales is not a nostalgic feel because it's so new. So all the ones of my age went to go see Transformers because they saw all of them. So you got to see the newest one. So that's one of the reasons why that doesn't surprise me at all.
And to Caesar's point, it appeals to a broader audience.
Huge,
right? Like when I went to the theater, obviously this generation populated the theater for Spider-Verse, like this Generation Z and the generation before.
Sure,
whereas you'll get Generation Z and you'll get their grandparents at a Transformers film because they grew up watching it, and it also appeals to a younger generation as well because the toys are in Walmart
still.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Like the toys are on the shelves in Walmart. So
when it comes to comics, I'm pretty sure a UF4 usually sells more than Transformers, right?
100%.
UF4 number one. I mean, UF4 versus Transformers number one.
Yes,
sure.
yes,
100%.
But when it comes to toys, Transformers, Ninja Turtles, fucking He-Man, all those
80s.
fucking will outsell any Miles Morales, Spider-Man shit. And not because it's bad, it's because the nostalgia, the collectors are older and would rather get that than a Miles Morales.
Well, realistically, Transformers and G.I. Joe number one should be iconic blue chip books by now. They just should be. They just should be. And that's not a knock on UF4 because UF4 is the true, arguably next to Walking Dead, the true first 21st century grails, like real.
Right.
I mean, real grails.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't have one.
So compare that to Invincible.
I want one.
So
Invincible's different.
Hold on. Let's see. We're talking about 21st century grails, right?
Mm-hmm.
UF4 Invincible. Which would you pick over and why? Why, Nick? Like, which one would you pick over? Like,
Invincible's bullshit, dude. No one gave a shit till this fucking. Oops.
Nope.
No one cared.
No.
Invincible
recently. Was expensive as shit even before the movie.
It was. So it's
expensive as shit.
It's really tough to compare, right? Because
I don't know
if you're comparing 21st century grails versus what you want, right? Obviously, the way to go is the mainstream grail, right? The Marvel or the DC grail. There aren't many 21st century DC grails.
Well, that's an investment.
There's even fewer indie, right? You're talking Saga, you're talking Invincible, you're talking Walking Dead. There's even fewer indie.
Sure.
If I had to pick, I'm obviously going to take the UF4 over Invincible, but Invincible is a grail.
Yeah,
it is a grail.
It just isn't going to be as recognizable as Ultimate Fallout 4, which
definitely
is
not.
If it wasn't for and he's right, because Invincible was, a couple $100 book raw before the television series, which is brilliant, by the way, which really drove the price of that book up. The raw price and the greater price of the television series is brilliant.
It wasn't
really great.
It wasn't a $10 book, and then Invincible cartoon came out and then it shot up. It was already kind of pricey to start with.
Yeah. It's going to be hard to touch in the long run. I think the two big 21st century grails that are going to be hard to touch, it's going to be that Walking Dead. Because Walking Dead is a property that 25 years from now, they can put back on TV. Yes. They can go back to that universe again, kind of like Star Trek. You know what I mean? It's such a big property on television that it has that Star Trek durability.
Should
20
get
years
one right
from now,
now,
you can go back to the universe. And
get
Ultimate
one right
Fallout
now.
4, it's not going to find a Walking Dead high grade.
Before you get going, one of the other reasons why Transformers is also the toys sells and all that more, because you have guys my age now who have money to buy the toys.
Sure, generationally it changes.
And I have a topic with that, so remind me after we bring this topic, Caesar, because I might forget. So, where do you rank that grail behind you? That Nyx.
It's a 21st century grail.
Yeah.
So if we're looking at Marvel grails, we're talking Ultimate Fallout 4 is top for the 21st century, right?
Yeah.
And then you have to go Nyx next.
Yeah.
Probably Edge of Spider-Verse 2 next.
Okay.
And then you're looking at a Kamala Khan,
Mm.
a Blue Marvel, and these are more affordable Marvel grails, right? But because now there's a big drop.
Oh
The
my
big
gosh.
3 for Marvel would be Nyx, Edge of Spider-Verse, Ultimate Fallout 4 for the 21st century. Then you have a drop where you're at a Kamala Khan, maybe an America Chavez, certainly a Blue Marvel.
America Chavez went up and down. Like,
yeah.
Well,
think
same
it's
with
still
Kamala
okay.
Khan. That Kamala
Because
Khan, you can
the
find it.
show sucked.
You can
That was
find
all
it.
show
cheap.
based.
You can get
But
stuff
you
like
got to
that.
keep in mind there's a recession. So
Oh, I know.
if you're getting in on books, right, while they're low, Kamala Khan, America Chavez, Robbie Reyes, if we're talking Marvel Grails.
Ironheart.
Robbie Reyes is a good one
I
to
like
get
Riri.
because there's a ton of minty ones out there. You can find
Riri is another one.
Can't find that
that's
1 in
picked up.
50 though.
No.
That 1 in 50 is a ghost.
Yeah.
Didn't
What's the
use
1 in
Riri
50
correctly.
cover?
Of Robbie Reyes?
Yeah, which one is that? Is that standing on the car with the guitar?
I think that's cover A.
1 in 10.
I don't know. Dell can pull it up. The one
Okay.
there's a 1 in 25 and a 1 in 50. The 1 in 50 is a ghost. Definitely gonna run you closer to $2,000.
Yeah.
You know what?
And Peter
I
Ruska,
definitely
that
don't have
Captain
that
Marvel
one.
second print, first Kamala Khan. That first Kamala Khan is few $1,000s. The second print, easy $3,000-$4,000.
You went to Blue Marvel hits the big screen.
Yeah.
What book am I looking up for?
All new Ghost Rider #1, 1 in 50. And Caesar makes a point. Blue Marvel right now, right? We're talking about a book that has less than 17,000 copies in circulation. It's already a $700-$800 book raw.
Yeah, that's low for a modern.
And that's a drop.
Yeah. I got one over.
A couple years ago, that shit was untouchable.
Blue Marvel's gonna. Yeah. People can't find it.
I should go for that.
Stick to your Silver Age stuff, man.
Very hard to find. If you take that
right.
Blue Marvel total print run issue, I believe it's 5 issues or 6 issues, total circulation combined, less than 70,000 copies combined on the run.
Where have you been my whole collecting career?
Right over there.
I need to listen to you.
Ish, where have
listen
you been?
to you more.
Where have you been? It's right on
Ish
your
likes
shirt.
it raw.
You guys.
Yeah, if it's sushi. Shout out to the Kevin Delgado, by the way.
Yeah, that guy. The Gabagoo.
You know what? You know what, Del? You could probably just go to eBay and type in all new Ghost Rider #1, 1 in 50.
Another thing too.
If it even pops up. Go on. I'm sorry, Caesar.
Another thing too is that, and we've talked about this at times at the show, is that just because something gets picked up for TV does not necessarily mean the book's going to jump, right? And I'm a big firm believer that the books no longer jump in price as it used to back in the day. Whenever a movie was announced or a character was announced, that book would shoot up and everyone's all going shit. Nowadays, it moves the needle a scotch. It doesn't peg like it used to. Right. And the thing is too, and I always use this as an example. 2 examples. Why the Last Man? People loved the book. People hated the TV show. DMZ. People liked the book. People hated the TV show. So it's those things of you spend a lot of money because you're like, oh my gosh, I heard that. Good thing I have one. And then the show came out, the show tanked. Now you can't sell it for $150, right? Because nobody wants it. It sucks, but it is.
There's your 1 in 50.
Oh, that one. One with the skull with the
and that's raw. $650.
$650. Maybe I should check my.
Maybe I should check my.
No, I don't have that one. It's too modern.
And it's super hard to find in high grade because of that black cover.
Yeah, black cover. That's why you gotta respect the slabs, people. When you get
I got a box of that run somewhere.
When you get a slab, when you get a book that's all pure black or pure white, and it's in the high 9s, in the Silver Age, boy, that's hard to do, man.
But they grade liberally on silver too, so that's a plus for those who collect Silver Age. It's very liberal grading, and it should be.
Even if something like a Dracula, like a Tomb of Dracula, which is a very dark cover. I got one this week at a 6.0. It's tough to grade. So that's why when you see the 9.2s, you're like, fuck.
Is that like bronze, right?
Yeah, that's a bronze.
Bronze.
It's cool. That's everything. Oh, I actually talking about Sour Spec. I was it last year. I started buying the first appearance of uh, his mom. What's his name?
Oh, you're
First
talking about
appearance of
Marshawn
his
Rose
mom.
mom.
Yes, I have
Marshawn
her.
Rose mom.
So I started specking on that and some other Star
That
Wars
is
stuff.
phenomenal spec. If you're specking on Marshawn Rose mother,
I have it there. I actually bought two of them off of eBay for cheap. So I'm like, just in case, because I was secondhand specking. So I put
I'm
it
sitting
away.
on 200 copies of his first appearance. I cleaned Diamond out.
How many?
You have a store ish,
No,
No?
not an actual building. No.
but is it your living?
Yes.
Oh, that's
Yes.
cool.
Yeah, I'm sitting on
It's my dream.
literally. I just put together 20 packs to start sending to CGC because I spec'd on Star Wars High Republic Adventures #2 very early on. Went on Diamond, saw they had them, bought 100. Like, oh, they have more. Bought another 100. Went to buy more, and they were out of stock. So I'm sitting on 200 of #1 and #2.
Kevin, I agree with you. I would love to have seen a Miracle Man TV show or movie because I would love to know what they would do with that character, how they would use him, how they would use his talents, But I don't know. With James Gunn now, that guy he's known to pull obscure characters out of thin air and make
Peacemaker.
Gold, so Peacemaker, I mean, who the fuck was specking on Peacemaker at any given point?
You
I think
still
it's
can't spec
hilarious.
on Peacemaker.
Yeah, I
hilarious.
sold the Peacemaker one for like $8 because
You
It's
can't
too
spec
funny.
on Suicide Squad. You can't do it.
yeah,
I
unfortunately.
can't believe what they did with that, but it's funny.
So I did hear that they pushed back the 3 Star Wars movies to what 2024 start 2025.
A lot of
Oh, they got a new Elder Scrolls dropping. Okay, I'm sorry.
Another
they're
Marvel
dropping.
stuff.
I mean, can we get a Red Hood
Marvel
movie?
shows. That will never happen. I
Red
think
Hood?
they won't make a movie out of that.
They
they used them in
the show.
Titan show with and
There's that Void Rivals, that 1 in 100.
Oh, sure, you got it. You see,
Blow him up.
Hold
No,
on.
that's my
Hold on,
nose,
hold on.
not his book.
Jesus.
It's got.
I know.
I can't recall which Transformer that is on the cover, but that's the reveal.
Exactly. Who does that?
That's Skybound, Robert Kirkman. That's the big announcement of
Mm-hmm.
the shared universe. Image Comics, Skybound has the license for Transformers and G.I. Joe now.
Okay.
They're doing a shared universe called the Energon universe.
Interesting.
Hey, Dell, we should have Robert back on again one of these days.
Jetfire, yes, yeah. Jetfire on the cover. Yo, y'all are showing me too much love, man. I really appreciate y'all. Y'all know I'm never one to be humble, but y'all are humbling me. I'm talking to the people in the comments, by the way. Appreciate you.
No, it's great.
Really appreciate y'all.
This is
Awesome.
this is what we always want. Whenever we have guests, we like to think that they bring along their following and they see us, they see Dell and I and what we're all about, and hoping that they'll like the page and subscribe and all that shit, and they come back the next following Wednesday or just set that notification. So like, oh yeah, so who are they going to have on? Because Dell will put up who we got coming on. He has the whole list, and you could go in. Oh, I like this, and that. So
you guys always have dope people coming on when you post out in advance. It's like, wow, y'all really have dope people, like really dope. So I've watched some. I think was it John Jiang who was on here?
Yeah, we had John.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, like how?
Yeah.
How?
No, you know what? Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you know who this is. I'm still talking to her because she's in a different country, but I'm trying to get Osh Red on here as well. She has some dope ass covers. Another look, Ish doesn't know who she is. I'm surprised. Fuck yeah. I got something on Ish. So
are you pronouncing it right? Because I know you had the whole Ahsoka Tano deal. So are you pronouncing it like
this guy right here is the shit.
I watch, bro. I watch.
Oh boy, man. We had Spectro and
say her name for me real quick, Del. Say her name.
Oshred, isn't it? How am I mispronouncing that shit? I better not.
No. Say
Yeah.
the name of the character that is going to be played by Rosario Dawson in the upcoming Star Wars television show.
AHSOKA.
He's like the pet owner who says, "Oh, you're gonna go for WALK."
Dude, it's just I remember who was it? It was Brian Murphy with Spectro and them. They fucking just murdered me because I was saying wrong, and I always thought it was Osaka. It's Osaka. Okay, you say this, and then I'll fucking repeat that to you.
Ahsoka.
Osaka. Okay, there we go. That's her name. I got it right this time. I think.
Oh man, but but actually, Del, that podcast, that show, you were all that. I think you were having a stroke or something. All show, he was
flustered for sure.
He was everywhere.
It happens. So let's go back to the topic. Anyways, so we have Flash coming up. Is it this weekend? This weekend, right?
I think so. The 16th, isn't it?
16th. So this weekend. What are y'all expecting from it? You think it's gonna burn, crash, and die, or is it?
It'll be fun. I think it's gonna be good, dude. Michael Keaton, Batman. Come on, I'm so excited to see that.
That's the only reason a lot of people are watching it too.
Hell yeah, why not?
But could it be one
Batman
of those
to
movies? Could it be one of those movies? Serious question here, where all of the dopest scenes we've seen in the previews and in the trailer, like could it end up being one of those situations, and then people leave disappointed?
I'm a big believer that I think studios should really honestly just keep it to teasers. And I remember the very first time I saw the trailer for Batman vs Superman, they basically showed the whole movie in the trailer. They showed you what Doomsday looks like.
Tomorrow for Flash.
Wonder Woman busted out on all that. You're like, all right. So you go watching it going, all right.
We should have never got a tease of Wonder Woman. That should have been
the proper. That should have been the it, where people would just leave the movie theater and going, holy shit, now we have Wonder Woman to the this universe. But I think they should just keep to just teasers. Some of these studios, way too much. You know, it's like
nothing to the imagination anymore.
It's like a 2 minute, and it's almost a 2.5 minute trailer. You're like, well, shit, I already saw 2.5 minutes of the movie, of all the good parts of the movie.
I was just about to say something, but it's going to be inappropriate, and you told me not to say anything about it.
That's right.
So I'm not gonna.
So I think Ish, you might be right. I'm hoping it's not that movie, but I'm hearing good things.
Can you help me open this?
I'm hearing good things though. I'm hearing that it is strong. People like it.
I'm excited.
They don't want to drop any spoilers. I'm gonna go to the theaters and watch it, but I'm based on the trailers, I think it's gonna be pretty good.
So I think the movie is gonna do well because it's going to sell popcorn, right? So I think it's gonna do well for that. But going into it, everybody knows the franchise is done. It's not a franchise, right? Like Ezra's out. They only put the movie out because like we can't recast. We filmed way too many scenes. You know what I mean? Like we spent too much money. He's out. It's done. This is kind of like Black Adam, right? James Gunn is going to wash his hands of all of that and build his own universe. And his universe looks like it's going to be dope too. But he's going to wash his hands of the Flash. He's going to wash his hands of, as he did with Black Adam. You got The Rock. It flopped. You washed your hands of it. Ezra Miller is not The Rock, and his reputation right now,
shot.
It's really bad.
I mean,
she has the Amber Heard reputation right now.
Yeah, they washed their hands of Aquaman. It's a wrap. James Gunn is coming in, and he's doing his universe, and that Superman movie is slated to have so many new characters appear in that movie. It's supposed to be a vehicle to launch the entire universe, so that's dope.
I'm pretty sure they're going to utilize this Flash movie as that verse like Marvel's using so they can restart everything.
That's cool.
I don't know what are they going to do with the Batman movie, because it was decent. I enjoyed it a lot. Me personally, right? I gave it a solid 8.5. But I know I think a lot of people gave it more of a upside than a downside on that movie.
That's different, though. I guess from what I understand, the Batman 2
it's like a one shot.
it's continuing.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
universe is still going on and going strong. Kind of like with the Joker,
Really?
what they're doing now with the Joker 2 and all that, with the what's his face, Walking Phoenix. It's its own universe. It's all separate. So whatever Pattinson's doing on, and rumor has it that Clayface is one of the villains in Batman 2, which I really hope that is
Yeah,
true.
that's cool.
I think
didn't
that's an
know that.
advantage that DC has over, let's say, the MCU formula, right? Because first of all, I don't think that they should have tried to copy the MCU formula anyway. Because one advantage they have is they do have this Elseworlds universe in comics called Elseworlds, where they can take Batman and tell an entirely different Batman story outside of the mainstream DC universe or Superman or what have you. And if they can do that in film, like they did with the Joker, and they had a really successful, great movie that people who don't even read Batman or know Batman could go watch this movie and get something out of this movie without ever being a comic fan.
Different actor. Yeah.
If DC could capitalize on that with this current Batman movie, because people liked it. I know they have a Penguin television series coming from it. And just keep it like an Elseworlds thing. I think that's an advantage that they have over the MCU, because they could have anyone come in and tell a Batman story and have their mainstream Batman.
And then you've seen what DC is doing is getting rid of like all of the CW shows. Gotham Knights is done, I think. All the other shows that were scheduled to be on CW have just been they got the axe pretty much.
Yeah.
And
they're pretty terrible.
The Flash show is done. I mean, like I keep saying, after 3 seasons, it wasn't the same. I didn't enjoy it, but I still enjoyed it overall. Same thing with the Arrow, but they're done. Like all these good shows from CW.
I can't watch those shows.
Give me a second, Dale. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yep.
I would probably be good to build the DCU without Batman and building that. Yeah, that would be a good idea, Kevin. I'm not even lying. That would be a good idea. I want to give up spoiler, but Dale said no.
No spoilers.
Fucking Steve has a good job now, and he's over there getting all this insider fucking bullshit. I'm like, Steve is always dropping, like, I don't want to say nothing, but, get your G.I. Joe shit. I'm like, all right, let's see what and then I'm looking in the comments, and Peckman's over here dropping pictures and shit. I'm like, damn. Hold on, before I say that, Superman Lois is excellent, though. Yeah, I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not saying the show, because the CW shows have been good overall. Like, the first 3 seasons, all of them have been pretty good. Doom, right? Or not Doom, but what was that?
Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol. That was good.
Show.
I like that.
So they have a lot of good shit. They're just like,
my wife likes it, and she does not do comic book stuff, so that should tell you something.
My wife definitely.
That's good.
It's a good show.
Batman, Spider-Man, can always live on their own universes. That's why Spider-Man is the one thing Sony can't screw up, and Batman is one thing. Yeah, there you go, Dan.
That is a good point, Dan. That is a great point, because yes, Batman has their own. Anyway, we had a question earlier the other show. Batman has their rogues, and so does Batman. They have their rogue galleries, and they handle their shit. Same thing with the Flash. Flash has a lot of people, but he's not as funny or cool as Batman sometimes. Because when Batman makes a joke, it's funny just because he's not supposed to make a joke. He's like, "What the fuck did he just say?" And it throws me out. Flash is always funny. Superman. He's a strong, awesome character, but he has no personality in my opinion.
He's kind of dry, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really the strength of his hero support characters and rogues galleries. Yep. And and then on one character they fucked up on, and I wish they can bring it back correctly. And because I know they're getting their own show, is the Green Lantern. Because the Green Lantern, you can do a lot of shit, because now it's not only Earth, space, right?
They need to bring back some movies, I think.
Oh,
yeah. One of the good things that DC has going, one of the things that DC has going with them, and Brian is mentioning one of them, is that they haven't even tapped into any of those cool villains, and like Dan said, the stuff like what's going on here?
Deathstroke,
the Terminator.
I see Brandon come in.
Hold on, before I go to Brandon, you're good? Okay, get him back on. So, Brandon, what is your news, brother? What is your news? Everybody who knows who they are, people like to hear exactly. And like we're bringing that up, and actually not even me. Dan was bringing up Batman and Spider-Man can always live on their own universes because they have so many villains and so much shit. And one thing I brought up is that Superman's a cool character, but he's bland, no personality. The reason we like Batman not because he's badass, because he has these quick comebacks, right? And then he has these funny jokes that come out of nowhere when he's supposed to be serious all the time. Um, some people hate him because why is he a regular person with no superpowers, but he's right there with Superman? People are gonna hate on him regardless. And the whole running joke is if you give Batman some time or whatever prep time, he can beat anybody. That's a running joke for everybody in the world, and I understand that. But Batman,
He's a human being. We get
but
it.
people would
I don't
rather
particularly
watch
care
Batman,
for either of them.
which was Superman and Batman.
Right.
But you would agree that Batman can hold its own universe and have continuous shows or movies by itself, correct?
Absolutely. The thing about Batman and Superman, which I know there are a lot of haters, I've hated as well because it's cool to do so. The reality is they are the paradigms by which all superheroes come from. Polar extremes. And you're either creating Superman, Batman, or someone in between. That's the difficulty, right? To not recreate Superman or to not recreate Batman. It's going to be somewhere in between those two slices of bread. They are the standard.
True.
Superman is the reason why people create superheroes. The best thing that happened to Superman was they created a opposite extreme, which is Batman. And you look at all over Marvel, you have your Daredevils, you have your Punishers, you have your all on some level Batman paradigms because they didn't have a choice. It's just accidental. Guys with no powers or extremely powerful people. The goal is not to reinvent the wheel, right? But to add a different spoke, so to speak, when you come up with something like a mutant, or you come up with a Wonder Woman who essentially is Superman, right? So that's where the respect. It's always going to be the argument: Batman versus Superman. Right. So those are the two extremes of what a superhero is.
Right.
Superman's just really hard to write. That's why he's bland, because he's like nobody can really beat him. It's hard to write him.
Real quick, Brandon, congratulations. I'm sorry, Nick. Brandon, congrats. Give me more information. I'll spread it out like I always do. Just let me know, and I'll share that out.
Spawn in Denver.
That'd be interesting because Spawn's a cool character. Blade and Spawn are two characters that need to have their own show and come back and see if they can do it correctly.
Yeah, for real, man.
Speaking of, Blade's another movie that got pushed back. Everything got pushed back. All the Marvel movies got pushed back. The Blade got pushed back. Star Wars got pushed back. And you know what? I'm okay with that. Give me just feed me stuff little by little. I don't need to have it all slapped in my face. You know what I'm saying? So just I'm all right waiting. I'm cool with that. I'm
early they know this rose gets out. Quick for first 10 minutes. Yeah, I you know what? That's a good point. It's a good point, Jason.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Like
I agree with J-Rob, and they know the movie's trash because they put these films out before test audiences.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And they get the reactions from test audiences like, okay, well, perfect example, right? And people are going to laugh, but there was a Disney movie that came out some years ago. I can't remember what it's called. Song that annoyed everybody. Let it
go, Frozen.
Right. So when they put that movie out before test audiences, the villain sang the best song in the movie and people reacted to it. So they had to change the movie to make her not so villainous because they realized that everybody was going to react to the best song in the movie was by a villain. It's the biggest song. People still sing it. Kids are singing it. It's on Kids Bop. That song.
Hey, you know what? I got to tell you.
Usually easy to relate to the villains in most movies.
I got to tell you,
but it's Disney.
I like Scar's. I like Scar's song in Lion King. Believe it or not.
Which one? Sing it.
Listen, I bought a Disney Scar #1 metal cover from Dynamite because that's how much I like Scar. Like I like villains, so when they put out the Scar comic, I'm like, listen, I'm jumping off the porch. I'm getting the metal cover. So I agree with you, Caesar. Like I was feeling Scar.
The importance of test screening is really good interview. So, hey Jay, if you can send that over so I can look into that, because I like to look into that. Oh, you're talking about. Oh, hold on, let me put that stuff on there.
Yeah, man, that's that Jay Lee cover. Is that the Jay Lee cover?
I don't know.
Hey, Dell, did you wanted me to remind you about something?
No.
I showed it already. I showed the rivals.
Oh, that's Transformers thing. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a great cover. I know that.
I like that cover behind. It looks awesome. Oh,
Oh,
hold
that
on,
one.
hold on.
That's pretty cool.
Hold
You
on.
got that one?
No, this one.
Is that a foil ish?
Metal.
Metal.
Metal. Oh, all right.
You can't read and don't listen.
Yeah, it's the metal. And I'm getting the Maleficent metal cover as well.
Yeah.
Hey, these covers they're coming out with Disney is pretty cool.
No,
And then
I
it's-
get it. Yeah. I agree. They're pretty cool.
Okay, guys. And drop off here. It's awesome guest. I got to go back. So before he leaves, me and Caesar will be on his show tomorrow at 7 p.m. Don't miss out. We'll share it out once we're there.
See you,
Guys,
dude.
He does
gonna be,
covers?
Oh,
he does. William.
William Russell?
William?
Hell yeah.
that's Mr.
He
Psycho
does
Cell
covers.
himself.
He has his own book,
Yeah.
and this is his work right here too.
Oh,
That's
wow.
William
That's dope.
Russell.
That's Batman Who Laughed Batman. That's dope.
Oh no joke. William's no joke. You see
Yeah.
his stuff. William's one of those guys that you see a William, you see that cover, you go, oh, that's William Russell.
Okay.
He's one of those guys.
I'm going to have to give a follow.
Oh, you go look up
Yeah.
his
Did Rise of
Insta-
Dracula as well.
His Insta is I think the art of William Russell, I think.
Or Cult of
Yeah, I need
Dracula,
everybody to
Rise
go
of
to
Dracula.
I need everybody to go to Instagram and follow ishue.x on Instagram too, by the way, and follow Comic Sense on Instagram. You already know, Dell. You brought me on the show. I'm going to shamelessly promote.
Hey, put it as a matter of fact, put it on the
Share it out. Yeah, put it on the
someone
screen.
drop it in the on the screen there.
How do I write?
Or you can put it in the private chat. And I can just put it on there.
Yeah,
Or
you
one
could
of your
just- yeah.
guys. You have Peter still in here, and some of your other guys.
Where's our guys at? Where's our admins at?
No, they don't give a shit.
Share it to the admin group. I mean, thank you for the shout out, guys.
I don't know
We'll see you
how.
tomorrow
Yeah.
for sure.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
that's
share it.
right. You should have the ability to share it. Let me just share it to the group then.
I see icons and nothing looks like share. Maybe the 3 bars.
To the
I think.
manager.
And yeah, y'all can find Comic Sense, the group and the page on Facebook.
Creators.
Oh, you got it. I was gonna spend.
So,
this.
Ish,
I just figured it out.
what was yours again, real quick? The Insta?
ishue.x.
Oh, there you are. Boom.
Send me the information later.
Sending you a follow right now, Mo.
Awesome. I'll accept that as soon as I get back on my phone
There
for
we go.
sure.
All right.
And I follow back. Like y'all put y'all. I follow.
Right there on my screen.
Yeah, I just started.
I write as well, J. Rob.
I just started Instagram.
Book.page.
I just started Instagram in November, and you know, it's listen. This whole comic community that we have now. Yes, it can be toxic, as you all know, on Facebook. It could be extremely toxic. This community can be toxic. And what Dell and I try to do, we try to really stay away from the drama. Sometimes we can't because it kind of falls in our lap, and sometimes we just have to do it. But we really honestly try to just kind of support and show the love and spread and all that, and give people credit where credit is due. And there's a lot of newbies starting out in this career, in this hobby, a shitload of newbies starting in this hobby.
I know Craig Leismeister is here. I know he's one of your guys.
Yeah, they don't know how to.
Craig, yeah, shout out to Craig.
They don't know how to start. I get a lot of. I'm just starting to collect. What do I do?
I'm going to tell you.
Whatever you like.
I'm going to tell you one of the things that we do at Comic Sense. We and I'm saying this to William Russell, and I'm saying this to any creator that is in the stream. One of the things that we promote and we love in our group, we want creators to come in. We want them to post their stuff. Post your Instagram, post your stuff, post your Kickstarters, post whatever it is. And we have Legacy Comics. We have tons of people, Bird's Eye View Comics, up and coming creators who come in and they post their stuff. By all means, the Comic Sense group is a platform by which you can come in, you can participate, you can share your stuff, kick it with other creators, post your stuff. We love it. We don't frown upon it. We encourage it. And many members of our community will support you. I'm always amazed when I'm seeing an up-and-coming creator. Shout out to Patrick Hickey from Legacy Comics, someone you should probably have on the show as well. Awesome guy. Creates a book called Conjury. I'm always amazed when I see him thanking someone from the community because he just posts in the community and they'll go buy his book. And I'm like, yo, I'm happy to be able to provide a platform by which something like that can happen. So please go to the group. You're a creator. Post your stuff. Post away.
Absolutely.
Support the artists. Agreed on that for sure. So, It's crazy. So we go all positive and then we get switch it up. But fuck it, we are gonna do that. So with these 3 movies already coming out, with Flash, we also have what's Osaka? I see. That fucking lady, right? She's gonna be. Hey, fuck you, bro.
That fucking lady.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna stick with that shit. I don't give a fuck. She's gonna be coming out soon, right, with her own show in Disney, and I'm gonna watch. I love Star Wars. I love what they're doing. The only, even the fucking Book of Boba Fett, even that show, I still enjoyed more or less, right? I still enjoyed that, even though a lot of people hated on it. I
I was just mad because he couldn't fight.
He kind of like
Let's
Just
take out the
beating
best
him up
part.
every episode.
Let's take out the best part of Boba Fett and do a show about Boba Fett.
fuck you, Peter. Fucking over here like
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka. Oh man, I look, and then you got like a Nantha.
So many jokes can happen from that.
So yes, Billy, thank you for letting me know. We have before we talk about Ahsoka, we'll talk about Secret Invasion. That's coming out soon, and that is something that I don't think the Secret Invasion books spiked up too much. I'm glad people are getting to their senses. It did spike up a bit. Obviously, it's going to at least a little bit.
Raw books did though. Like
Raw
weird
books?
scroll appearances just started.
Oh,
People were just
yeah.
jumping on like really weird appearances of scrolls.
That Fantastic Four. What is it? The Fantastic Four, the first appearance of scrolls. The
Power Scrolls. Yeah.
Yeah, that shot it. But
What are
the
you
Secret
expecting from
Invasion
this
number
show? What are y'all expecting from this show, though? Are you expecting key
fun.
appearances, fun? Just you think it's gonna connect it to the other universes, to other movies, to the other shows? What are y'all thinking? What's up with Caesar? Secret Invasion.
Oh, so I hear what you said.
It's all going to be connected, but I think it's just going to be a fun show and no spec from it. I think it's just going to be a good show just to kind of watch. Hey, everyone likes Fury. Everyone likes that dude, and he's going to be in it. And I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be good. I'm not expecting much. I'm going to go in pretty even keel.
I'm expecting a lot.
I
feel like if they play this the way they did in comics, we're gonna find out that all the way back in Phase 1, certain major characters are secretly Skrulls.
Right.
That's what I was thinking.
Like that's like dating going all the way back to Phase 1.
That's gonna
because they can look like whoever they want.
I was thinking that he was gonna what's his face? Nick Fury wasn't there from the Homecoming when he. That's what I assumed. I don't know if he's going to be more back, but I'm assuming this is where they replaced him. He's outer space. That's what I'm assuming.
Nick Fury?
Nick Fury.
Interesting.
Is it Homecoming or is
like what if after Civil War he was replaced by a Skrull?
That would be something. That'd be fun. I really hope that. I don't think it is possible that the Hulk was a Skrull because they fucking nerfed him way too much for them not to be, you know what I mean? Like the real Hulk wouldn't do that. To me, it's in my opinion, he wouldn't be so nerfed and so scared of Thanos. He would have just died getting his ass whooped rather than just running away from him. In my opinion,
Monkey Hulk was just a problem. Everything about Hulk after Avengers 1 has been a problem in the MCU.
Yeah, isn't it? I mean, I liked him in Ragnarok a lot. Because Ragnarok is one of my top 5 movies because I just really did enjoy it.
I don't know why they couldn't have just kept Edward Norton's version.
It was a good version.
No, I liked
it.
Version. But you know what? We talked about it last week.
Real Hulk.
For sure, Katie.
I was saying
too soft. The whole character's too soft.
On the show last week, the first Eric Bana Hulk was the first Hulk I ever saw them use the ability that every single time he gets angrier, he gets bigger. And that's the only time I really saw that interpretation in a movie. So when his Hulk kept on getting angrier and angrier, he kept on getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I like that,
I wanted to fight the movie screen.
MCU Hulk is
I remember when this is younger. I might be older than everybody on here.
How old are you?
Oh, thank you, Ish. Appreciate it.
I'll be 48 next month.
Damn, you're old as hell.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. So you're not the only one.
I remember. I don't remember what movie I watched, but I remember they showed the trailer, the world premiere trailer for that Eric Bana Hawk in the theater, and people stood up and gave it a round of applause. And then the movie came out, and they had like these Stay Puft pit bulls. Like you remember the Hawk dogs that just. I wanted to fight the guy running the projection reel. Like I just felt like, why are you doing? Like I felt like going up there just punch him in the face. It was the worst ever.
Yeah, that's why the Ed Norton one was so cool, because when he fought Abomination, it was an actual fight of Abomination, right?
And that movie, in my opinion.
And then for me, and then when they turned Abomination to sort of mimic what he looked like in the comics, I was like, okay, But then what they did to him in She-Hulk, they kind of just nerfed him.
No. And what's even worse is, they killed Hulk, they nerfed him. But what about this new Red Hulk that's going to be coming out?
Harrison Ford?
With Harrison Ford, do you think Harrison Ford is a great enough actor to pull off a Red Hulk? No, maybe back then.
His face.
But with his age,
he doesn't have to do any real acting.
He doesn't have to do anything. We're just gonna CGI his face. I mean, look what they're doing with the new Indiana Jones movie coming out. They made him younger.
He just has to be grumpy.
He just has to.
He's already grumpy.
Has to be himself. Yeah, he'll be fine.
Just have to be grumpy.
The team was excellent. Honestly, Wall Hulk is one that, and I have read this, is one of the best storylines that I enjoyed. I love Hulk. His character's awesome. I always wanted to see, a real Hulk versus the Juggernaut fight. And like, I don't know if I'll be old enough to see it in my lifetime. Even though I'm only 35, right? I'm not that old like these two guys. But
it can't be nerfed Juggernaut though.
Dude, they more than likely will.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the question, right? Does Red Hulk, who we know is super powerful, does he get the Marvel? Like, if he gets pushed in Marvel Comics the way he's supposed to be, how bad does it make the way they push Hulk? Like, if Red Hulk gets pushed like strongest one there is,
they're gonna have to push Hulk.
They're really gonna have to put. They got to get rid of this Professor Hulk persona. It's got to go away.
I gotta be honest. I had Professor Hulk.
Terrible. I hate it so much.
Yeah.
It would have to go away if Red Hulk comes in and he's just wrecking shop, because arguably they don't have a non-god level hero that can stop Red Hulk.
Sentry.
Not in the MCU yet. Like in the MCU proper, they don't really have like a hero that can just stop Red Hulk.
If you throw in Warlock, maybe.
But
not
Warlock would stop him.
It was just
but he's not Warlock. He was also nerfed. So
well,
what Warlock are they going to give us?
Because remember, they took him out of the cocoon too early, so he's still kind of baby-ish.
Yeah, he hasn't become
the Warlock that we know.
Warlock, yeah, with the Infinity Gem and all. You know what I mean? That Warlock.
Yeah.
And you know how we were talking about Batman and Spider-Man having their own universes? X-Men has their own universe. And they have a lot of mutants and stuff. They need to start digging back into that correctly, not just putting
I miss X-Men. I need some X-Men movies, man.
I'm so glad that you mentioned that, because that's always been a pet peeve of mine when they come to Marvel. Growing up, right? And I'm just going to keep it real. In the 80s, if you read comic books, if you were reading DC, you were reading Batman and Teen Titans, right? And possibly Green Lantern. The rest sucked. Even though Superman was a flagship, it just wasn't good. If you were reading Marvel, you were reading Spider-Man and you were reading X-Men. Occasional Hulk and maybe a Ghost Rider. The Captain America sucked, Iron Man sucked, Thor sucked. It was boring books. It just was. There are people who liked it, but for the most part, these weren't leading Marvel in sales. And the X-Men could exist in Marvel without ever having to cross over into any other book. The universe, same with Spider-Man. Spider-Man had 4 titles, sometimes 5 if you count things like Marvel Tales or what have you, right? We had 4 running titles. The X-Men had a host of books. If you wanted to make a book popular, you put Wolverine in it, right? Like if you wanted to get sales on a book, you put Wolverine or you put Spider-Man in that book. I'm saying this to say that the X-Men has always had its standalone universe within Marvel Comics, They don't need to coexist or to cross over. And I think that's the treatment they should give them with the MCU. Should be X-Men films, X-Men movies, X-Men properties. And then at some point, you have your major crossover event where the X-Men are. That's what I think they're going to end up doing anyway. Something like AVX or, Avengers versus X-Men or something like that down the line.
So what are you, talking about crossovers, what are you, Ghost Rider, this is real quick before I bring in my thoughts. While this is going on, what are your thoughts with them bringing back Wolverine for Deadpool 3? Was it rushed? They should have gotten a new Wolverine before they did that, because Ryan Reynolds could continue being Deadpool, obviously, and you may be looking. He has
Cody drew that.
Maybe a couple of more movies for Wolverine, but longevity-wise, I don't think he can. I love him as Wolverine, I really do, but I think they shouldn't have put this Wolverine in Deadpool 3.
I think they're really doing it for more. This might sound kind of funny and you guys may agree. I think they're doing it more because Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman have a massive man crush, and I think it's
great chemistry.
Huge chemistry. So when they go,
it's gonna be good.
When they go on screen,
it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be fun because
I'm not gonna say it's a bad movie, but longevity-wise, I don't think they can make as many movies as possible. So
I don't think there's going to be. I don't think that's the plan. I think that the jury's still out on where and if this movie is going to actually fit into the MCU. It may not, like New Mutants didn't, right? Even though Disney bought it, it didn't fit. They didn't even pretend that they were going to make it an MCU film. Maybe there'll be some breaking the fourth wall, shout outs, some homages, some cameos, but I'm not sure that this movie is going to make it into the MCU canon outside of like acknowledging that the canon exists. Because, Hugh Jackman ruined, people love him as Wolverine, but the reason why the X-Men franchise sucked is because they had to keep casting Hugh Jackman, which ruined continuity. It really destroyed the continuity of those films because we got to get Hugh Jackman in this film. We need him to sell him as Wolverine, so we're putting him in Days of Future Past, which makes no sense if he first appears in the first X-Men film, which was set. It's all of it is the continuity is so bad, and it was because they had to keep casting Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
Okay, fair enough.
From what I understand, I wouldn't be surprised that everyone is blowing this out of proportion with this Spawn. I'm sorry. This Deadpool movie coming out. I wouldn't be surprised if Hugh Jackman is very underutilized in that movie. Period. Honestly, I think he might. I think he might be cameos, as in because he's gonna. Deadpool has that time machine, right? He stole from Cable. He's gonna be going back, and he'd probably get younger Hugh Jackman, a younger Wolverine. And they'll be peppered in. I don't think he's going to be one of the main casts. Honestly, that's
really a good point.
Yeah.
So I think everyone, because they're the way they tease it, the way they're promoting it, that people are like, "Oh my gosh, it's going to be basically Deadpool and Wolverine the whole show." And I'm thinking, no.
Version,
I mean, but it would be cool if they did a Marvel buddy cop film.
The
21st century.
I can see that. I can see that for real.
Hey, well, that's what I'm looking forward to with Green Lantern. I guess they're going to do it more in the style of True Crime, that HBO show, and it's going to be a buddy kind of a thing. I'm down with that. True Crime shows, or I think it's called True Crime, on HBOs are great. If you ever seen them, and if they do that in superhero styles, I think they might be onto something. So
I think JC has a point, and I think he's grabbing onto, especially because they are getting the people for Fantastic Four. They're already working on that. So if he is going to be a Herald of Galactus, right? Are they going to bring him into Deadpool first, or are they going to bring him into Fantastic Four first?
Fantastic Four. I think 100% Fantastic.
Who's going to be a Herald of Galactus?
So if you read it, so it's rumored Deadpool grabs a Brotherhood version of Wolverine for a Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe for the Timekeepers, possible Herald of Galactus.
I don't think, JC, as much as I like you, pal.
I'm out.
That's too complicated for
Marvel?
No, for the general audience.
And Deadpool's going to be a Herald of Galactus.
The reason why I say that is because you also have to think about when they make these movies, they don't just make it for the comic nerds. They have to make it for the wife, for the kids, for the dad, or whoever goes. They don't want them to go in there and go, what the fuck did I just watch? And then you have to explain everything and all that. That's why I still think a Midnight Suns will not happen in my lifetime. It's going to take forever to bring all those characters and come in and then make a whole. It's not going to happen. It's not.
So
it's too convoluted.
What are everybody talking about that man thing, right? Not
Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing. The show they had in October.
Man Swamp.
Man Swamp.
You mean
Man Thing?
Man Thing.
See, I was correct. For thank you.
Swamp Man.
Oh, you first said Man Thing. You're like, no, not Man Thing.
You're right. Okay. Back to what I was saying. Did you like that style of show? I enjoyed that show.
I thought it was great.
Oh, it's one of the best things that Marvel pulled out. It honestly is. The black and white, the old school horror looking. It was short. It was quick. It started.
That was cool.
Just like that. I thought it was
very cool.
Badass. I like.
And Man Thing looked good for an
inexpensive
show.
Hell yeah.
I like
that. Was a good show.
And
I was never into Man Thing, and I saw that and was like, oh shit.
Jack Russell.
Really cool.
Werewolf by Night looked great. I liked all.
It was good. It was good.
And we're talking obscure characters, right?
Yeah. They brought in Ulysses Bloodstone. They brought in what's her face Bloodstone, right? So and rumor has it, right, that they're going to be doing that this year for Super Surfer. There will be a special presentation for Disney Plus. The way they did, Guardians. The way they did Guardians, the way they did
giant size Man Thing.
What's the other one? Werewolf by Night. The special presentation. So yeah.
That's. I'm glad you mentioned Silver Surfer because it's a hard sell for me, visualizing Deadpool as a hero of Galactus and bringing that to Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
I would feel some type of way if the Fantastic Four faced off against Deadpool as a precursor to the coming of Galactus. I would really feel some type of way as a fan, for real.
Yeah. Don't even get Silver Surfer first.
Give me Tyrax or give me Nova, give me any Herald. If you don't want to give me Silver Surfer again, just give me a true Herald of Galactus. Don't have Deadpool show up. And guess what, guys? With pizza in his mouth and Galactus is on the way. I can't do it.
What was the best thing about Fantastic Four 2?
The ending, the credits.
Silver Surfer was the best thing about Fantastic Four.
I'm assuming some of you have read Silver Surfer #1.
Yes.
Why can't we just have a movie that starts like that?
That would be awesome.
What the fuck?
There's nothing. Well, listen, if it's true, two things that I heard. Either they're going to do a Silver Surfer special presentation or a Ghost Rider special presentation for Disney Plus. Either or, being in Halloween time, Ghost Rider makes more sense.
I hate you, Kevin Delgado.
Now the funny thing is, Kevin's been quiet the whole fucking time, and all of a sudden he busts out with this shit behind.
Trevor Fitzroy behind him, yo. Yo, that is so convoluted. And shout out to D. Kevin Delgado because I know what he's doing.
You know what? Either way, we all watched Fantastic Four 2 because Silver Surfer hit the screen and he was just badass looking, and that's the reason why we did it. We got a stupid version of Galactus, and anyways, whatever they. Oh, that's the other thing, Del. Did you hear who might be playing Galactus?
No, don't tell me it's okay. Who?
Antonio Banderas.
I heard that's what you're talking about. I thought it was a fake thing. So the news that I cared more about that they're making a remake of Leprechaun. That's what I cared about.
A remake of Leprechaun.
Yeah.
The remake that nobody ever asked for.
Hey, Leprechaun was a good movie. It's been a while. It has what's it?
Did you like all 4 of them?
No, I like the first
4
2.
of them.
Yeah, there's Leprechaun goes in the hood, which I thought it was funny because everybody thought they were gangster and then they get killed. So I don't know what the 4th one is. I remember the first 2 was what I liked. I like those. I like Pumpkinhead. I like those old school movies like Children of the Corn. Now it doesn't make sense, but back then I really enjoyed.
Man, that movie scared the hell out of me as a kid.
Me too.
That was
Fuck
not
that
fun.
movie.
Like, yo, for real, man. Like, yo,
I think
have me
Dell
want to
likes it.
punch little kids from the country in the face, man. Like, yo, get away
absolutely.
from me. Stay
Fuck
away
that.
from me, yo.
Right. I
Fuck
think
that.
I think he liked it for the first appearance of Jennifer Aniston in the movie. Yeah.
No, I hate it. I hate any movies with fucking Leprechaun, Chucky, and the Puppet Master. I hated those fucking things, bro. Anything
Chucky was my
small.
guy.
I'm a
Puppet
huge
Master,
guy.
for sure.
I'm scared of those small things. My
Puppet
daughter
Master.
gets
Chucky
one of
when I
those
was a
dolls.
kid.
I throw them out. Like fuck that.
I was on Chucky's side in those movies, man. I love those.
You know what?
Wow.
That other movie
I wanted him to win.
they've been in talks of remaking. The movie they've been in talks of remaking. I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. Is Toxic Avenger. There's already been. As a matter of fact, Toxic Avenger. Once they started talking about Peter Dinklage is going to be in it. The Toxic Avenger #1 shot up.
Yep.
During that time.
It's still a good cover though.
It's cool.
It's an iconic cover. Iconic.
Yeah.
Here we go again. It's a very well known.
Well known, yes.
Yeah, it is a
So-
well-known cover.
I sold a few of them.
So
Yeah.
I got a question for you, Ish, because I
Critters.
won
Yeah, it was-
I won this for a freebie.
Please.
What do you think about this movie?
Exiled. Oh, I don't want to show that shit.
This
Is that from Whatnot?
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, it's one.
Am I okay to say what I feel?
Yes, you can.
I hope you do.
Yeah, go
Listen,
ahead.
I'm going to tell you something about first of all, I like Wesley Snipes, but I'm going to tell you something about Whatnot. And no knock on Whatnot. Listen, if you're collecting for investment out there, you can't leave the #1 issues on the table. But man, those books suck. Don't read them. Like they are alpha betas are like horrible. Like
I
what
heard
did you
that-
do?
I
Like
heard
go
that,
to your kids' high school and recruit the creative. I'm no knock on Whatnot, but this is what it is.
I heard Nick the Funk is not good.
I've got plenty of knocks for one.
There's only I thought Quested was okay. Everything else, and listen, no knock on Whatnot, no beef or Whatnot. Shout out to Whatnot. From a publishing perspective, they have a lot of money behind them. They're not going anywhere. Do not leave those #1s on the table. But there's nothing readable coming out. It's not. So what do I think about it? I mean, I think Wesley Snipes, the last movie he did with Kevin Hart, he was brilliant. It was on Netflix. He was really brilliant. Like he moved from an action star into like an actual actor. He was really brilliant. And I think if people are willing to put money behind him to have him back on TV, kind of like what Keanu Reeves did with Berserk, then certainly have those Exiles in case it pops up on Netflix or what have you.
Yeah.
But that's the best I got for you on that. It's the best I got for you. That's Wesley Snipes is associated with
I got
it.
it for free because somebody was like, type in
Sell it.
blah blah blah, and you're gonna get this for free. Hey Chelsea, you want to
Yeah,
talk
those
about
are-
artists? Chelsea's right here. Another.
I
artist.
gotta echo the homie Diageo Mallard statements. The books are garbage. Again, I sell them, I order them. I like #1s of anything. You never know.
Yeah.
Got a
one of
lot of
these.
money behind it. Don't
If
leave
you're
it
a
on the
specker,
table.
If you're a specker, right? I mean,
There's a #1. You probably don't know about.
Berserker. We all know
I like the
it's
cover.
going to be.
Yeah, man.
Berserker's going to be a TV show. I mean, a movie. It's going to be a
Movie
animated
and a
series.
television show. Yep.
You got to read it too.
Animated series. That's pretty big for a show. They're like for a book that's like, let me guess, it's going to be a guy who's immortal and he's trying to figure out why he's immortal. Blah 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 blah.
It's a good
I
read, though.
like the Old Guard, right?
Old Guard is
And-
great. Love it.
And the TV show was, I love the show, and they're making a second one.
And a third.
And yeah, so it's a good formula. Did you see the Old Guard, Dale?
The one with the chicks, right? Where they're the ones that are fighting.
Is it, I
They're
guess
immortal.
Scarlett Johansson.
Honestly, it didn't catch my attention that much.
Charlize
But-
Theron.
But what my point is that people know that John Wick is just a fighting movie, right? That's all it pretty much is. But it's has a little story behind it, and it's cool, and they're going to watch it regardless. John Wick 4 is the same thing as it's not the same thing. I'm not gonna if I can bring it down. Is 1, 2, and 3 and 4. You already know what's gonna happen, but you still want to watch it. With Exiled, I think, and with Berserker, I think we already know what's gonna be, but I still watch it because
cool.
I grew up with Snipes. I used to love him as an action guy. I'd rather have him. No offense, but I'd rather prefer him as an action guy than a real actor because I can't really see him as a good.
He's old,
big-
man.
Man, watch the film that he just did on Netflix. It's not even a film. It's like a 6-part series, which is like a pretty much a super movie with Kevin Hart. It's really good, and his
What's
role
it
in
called?
it. I can't think of the name. It just came out a year ago.
I feel
He
like I
plays
saw it.
Kevin Hart's cousin. Kevin Hart kind of plays himself, but not really himself, like a famous person.
I think
And
I saw that.
he gets Kevin Hart wrapped up in like murder and all. It's
Yeah.
like, but it's a serious movie. It's not a
Yeah.
comedy at all.
Yeah.
And like he's really great in that movie.
Okay, I'll give you that shit is because Kevin Hart as playing the dad, he was more of a serious role. I enjoyed that movie. I wasn't my favorite, but I enjoyed it. It was a different type of Kevin Hart. So I
True
can
story.
see-
Diageo that dropped the name.
It's called True Story. Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Why Man Can't Jump was yes, that was a good movie, Peter. That was a good
Dude,
fucking movie.
That's like
Which
my
one, the new
childhood,
one?
man. No,
No, Why
Oh,
Man
God.
Can't
the new one.
Jump?
Wesley
that movie.
Snipes, bro.
I'm talking about that because they made a remake.
Yeah,
I
there's a
know, but we're
Hulu
talking about
show.
Wesley Snipes.
Oh, I'm just saying.
Is that the same,
real-
sir? Come
He's
on.
talking about
The real
True
one.
Story. True Story with Wesley Snipes and Kevin Hart. Billy Zane it was a really good film.
Oh, Billy Zane's in that too.
It's not really a film though. It's like
A mockumentary?
4 hour-and-a-half episodes
Interesting.
that make it's really like a movie though. Like it's
What do you-
really good.
Ish, did you see Wesley and Dolomite?
I thought that was Eddie Murphy.
Told him.
No, Wesley Snipes was the director.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's in that movie. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
That's good to know. I did not know that neither.
yeah. Wesley Snipes is he's the director that Eddie Murphy goes, "Hey, you want to make movies about?" And you know that sort of shit. So.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But Billy Zane's in it, huh? Billy Zane, you remember The Phantom?
Yeah, it was terrible,
Yeah, man.
With
That's
Billy
what we
Zane.
doing.
but I remember it.
You know
Somebody
what?
mentioned Swamp Thing earlier, and I remember how
Never forget.
afraid I was of. DC did a really good movie, or maybe it's just my bad memory. Swamp Thing
Oh.
film back in the 80s.
That was probably
Yeah.
your memory.
I remember that.
Man,
That
it
was good.
scared the hell out of me, man.
Yeah, that was-
like,
that was
I was a
cool.
kid, man. It scared the hell
I
out of me.
remember that.
Which one?
I remember
Swamp Thing.
Oh, the
Like, how-
80s,
I did too.
late 70s, 80s.
80s, it was 80s.
Yeah. It was early 80s.
It was cool. It was very real.
It was good.
No, it was scary. I was afraid of the bad guy. I was afraid of Swamp Thing, but the monster he had to fight was like, yo, really?
Yeah.
I'm a kid, man. This supposed to, why are you marketing this towards me?
Oh,
I
the,
gotta
Like, what are you
find that. I
doing?
gotta watch
you know,
that.
the other movie I'm looking forward to a lot is the new the Constantine, the second part. So I mean, because I'm a big Constantine, I love Keanu Reeves and Constantine. Constantine is one of my top 5 movie. I will watch it over and over again. So the fact that he's going to come back as a second one.
So how'd you feel about the version of Constantine in the
The TV
Sandman
show?
series?
Oh, you know what?
That was a good show.
Now let me ask you guys, or maybe Ish, I'm
Heather Locklear.
was it a rights thing that they did not use Constantine?
I don't know. I know that obviously she was a female.
Right.
And I believe I believe the intention was to make her turn out to be an ancestor
right.
of who would become John Constantine.
Right, but I believe that they did not use John Constantine as a name because they can't.
Mm.
That's why he wasn't in it. at
Because
all.
I wonder if it's a Warner Brothers thing.
I
I
don't
wouldn't be
know.
surprised.
It's one of those.
I just want to say I love that they did a scene in Buffalo, New York. Shout out to Buffalo, New York.
Hey, listen, but Sandman to me was one of the best written shows that I've seen this year. I
was great.
loved that series.
Wasn't that last year though?
The show?
2022.
Shit,
Yeah.
was it last year?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
That was
last-
good.
What year were you?
Watch that with my wife.
Just his battle with the devil was
Oh,
really
that
brilliant.
was my favorite.
It's brilliant.
That's my favorite. That's
Yeah.
my favorite episode. That's
Very
my favorite.
different.
with the common version.
Oh,
I
so
agree.
different.
I agree. Oh, so now that Brett's here, hey, what's up, Brett? Reach
Brett.
out to Ish, Brett. Get together and get this happen so y'all can get him in the Wise Guys Collectibles. A great guy.
Yeah, I'm
great
down.
artist.
Samuel Murdoch. Remember the crazy guy's mom who had the amulet, she had the object. When she disappeared, when she stole the object and disappeared, she reemerged in a loft apartment in Buffalo, New York.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
That's where she reemerged.
That makes sense. There we go. Awesome. So thank you, Brett.
well,
Thank you. Appreciate it.
to be honest, Peter, I mean, as we all know, right, the characters on screen is nothing compared to the books. We all know that. I mean, it's very rare that it's very rare that you see a character on screen that you go, It's exactly like the book. It doesn't. They always kind of tweak it.
So it's always getting close to 2 o'clock, 2 hours long. So we're always trying to cut it before that. Before I do that, I am going to ask you one question to both Ish and Nick. It's not going to be a hard question. It's something simple, but it's kind of controversial. But I want to give you reasons why. Who is your favorite Spider-Man from the three that are out there, and then possibly with Miles Morales coming out? Let's just. I'll add them. I'm not gonna add Miles because he's not actually out there yet. Do the three. Who was your best Spider-Man and why? And what are you expecting from Miles Morales? And we'll start off with Nick.
What do you mean by the three that are out there?
Garfield, Maguire, and
Hiddleston.
Hiddleston. That's Loki.
Tom
Holland.
So
Say, what the hell are we talking about here?
I know he's coming through me up. It's his fault.
No,
Anyway,
I
we'll start off with Nick. What are your thoughts, Nick?
I like Garfield. I like his. I don't know why. I just like him. I don't know. I like him as an actor overall. So I don't know. I don't know. Tom Holland's like a little kid, and I feel like he's always going to look like one. But Spider-Man is a little kid, so he makes more sense in a way, like for the story, because he's a high school student and he looks like a high school student and he sounds like a high school student. But it might be a body type thing. Garfield looks more like Spider-Man. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But what's his name? First guy? Yeah. I just don't like him.
Oh, come on.
I don't like the guy. I don't know what it is. I think it's his face. I don't like it. Sorry. I just wasn't a big fan.
So for me, it's tough. The reason why I say it's tough is because while I wasn't the big fan of the Tobey Maguire movies, I thought outside of the costume in the first film, I thought he was Peter Parker. Like he just really captured that nerdiness of Peter Parker. Garfield, he brought a different flavor, right? Where Peter Parker is used to, like, everybody, superheroes hate him, right? Because of his annoying jokes, where Garfield was more sarcastic than he was comedic, right? He was just really, he had the one-liners and was really sarcastic. It's hard, man. Tom Holland, to me, I mean, that first Spider-Man film was really good. Like, he really captured the essence of what you want from a Spidey film. Even if anyone could have played the role, I think the writing of that first film, was it Far From Home or Homecoming or whichever the first, I mean, was really great. Like, it really gave you, we're not getting an origin story. We're just getting a really good Spider-Man movie. So because of that, I have to go with Tom Holland. Just because we just got that first Spider-Man film was so good. It's like one of the MCU's best films, and it came out of nowhere. It was really good.
He's done the most with the character.
He has done a lot. So I'd go with Tom Holland just on the strength of that.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then Tom Holland, as of right now, he is more known now because it's older people that know Tobey Maguire. The new generation only knows Tom Holland. We know all three of them, right? So we've seen them all. If I would rank them, I would have Toby, Tom, and then Andrew at the end.
Yeah, I'm the other.
When you talk about older generations, knowing someone, I want to hear Caesar's opinion, but I want to say something really quick after that.
Go ahead, Caesar.
Tom, Toby, Garfield. I never bought Andrew Garfield, a 40-year-old in high school. I just didn't. Yeah. I never bought that. I never bought him being a high school student. Sorry. Like him, like you said, good actor. I just saw Hacksaw Ridge the other day. Again, great actor. He's tall and lanky. I didn't like it. Tom Holland is more of he has more of that face. He's more high school, even though he's like fucking 30 or whatever he is.
See that Tammy Faye movie?
He's high school, and he's Spider-Man. Goofy,
maybe he's dating Zendaya.
The quips, and all that stuff. And Toby, he is the original. What can you do? But I think Holland for me is the guy.
It's interesting, though, that you made a reference to older people knowing
all of them.
the original. Now I can't even think of his name.
Tobey
Versus
Maguire.
Tobey Maguire versus Tom Holland, right? And it just made me think, because when you look at what Heath Ledger did with Joker, right? Standalone, it's awesome, but it does not make you forget what Jack Nicholson did with Joker. You know what I mean? Like it like Jack Nicholson still played one of the most phenomenal. Like, they made books. They literally published books with just his quotations as Joker from that. There was so much merchandise because Jack Nicholson played Joker. It's like, it's interesting how some things can transcend generations and other things kind of get lost.
That's right.
George Reeves is always remembered as Superman as much as Christopher Reeves is remembered as Superman, or Terrence Stamp as Zod. Nobody remembers that very excellent Superman movie that DC put out in the early 2000s, because it was really good. Much better than most people gave it credit for, where they recast General Zod.
Yeah.
I don't remember that he played General Zod. I know he's coming back because I saw him in Flash.
I
know Terrence Stamp was like Neil before Zod. Like, I remember Terrence Stamp in the 80s playing General Zod. And maybe I grew up there. But to many people, he's still General Zod.
That's right. But to many people, Cesar Romero is Joker and will always be Joker.
That's true.
I like him as Joker. Eartha Kitt as Catwoman. Because we haven't had a good Catwoman in any film yet.
No, you're agreed.
We have not.
Agreed.
We have not.
Always a terrible, always a waste.
But it's one of those things. Like, I think we just
Such
had a
a
discussion
waste.
last time about Catwoman. I think Chelsea's still in here. Chelsea's like, Eartha Kitt, hands down. But some people might say Michelle Pfeiffer is my Catwoman.
I mean, she's
right?
very
right. And
very
then,
comely as Catwoman for sure.
And then the newer generation of now will say,
"Fuck you,
no,
Kevin."
Catwoman is
Halle Berry.
No.
Oh God, no.
God.
That's the one we don't want to know. The one who just did in the new Batman movie.
She was so bad.
Not Elizabeth.
Come on, guys, help me out.
Not
The
You're talking about which one, the trilogy or the newest Batman movie?
The newest Batman. The short the
daughter of
the guy with the dreads.
Lenny Kravitz.
Lenny Kravitz. Zoe Kravitz.
Zoe Kravitz. There we go.
Now people say,
there we go.
Or no. What's the other girl from the skinny brunette in the Dark Knight series with Brain? What's her name?
Anne Hathaway. Some people might say, well, that's my Catwoman because that's what they remember.
They all wear the leather well.
Either or Catwoman. We're in agreement that Halle Berry was
easily the worst.
She was atrocious. That movie's atrocious.
She looked good though.
Yeah.
And to
me, that's all Catwoman is. She's eye candy. She's a distraction.
She was better than So it's hard. We brought up three of fucking Jokers, right? We haven't brought up Joaquin Phoenix that much because it's whatever. He's and the guy that's crazy. But y'all forget that Mark Hamill is a voice of Joker, and he does a great job. For some reason, his voice is the best amongst everybody out there. Obviously, the animation has been great.
But I can never. But the thing is, I can never compare animation to live action. I just can't.
Different thing.
It's a whole different thing. If we were talking about who plays the best Joker, well, obviously it's him because he does the only Joker. To be honest with you, right?
He's not the only one.
He's like 90%.
We gotta give you that.
Yeah, I mean, so. But to say that who plays the best. Listen, guys, we can talk about who's the best Batman. I don't think Michael Keaton's the best Batman. I never thought Michael Keaton was the best Batman. So, and
are you going to say Clooney?
He's going to say Kilmer. He's going to say Kilmer. He's going to say Kilmer this much.
No.
Kevin Conroy is Batman, exactly.
For me,
aren't you a DC guy? Damn it.
For me, it's what's his face. It's Christian Bale.
Christian Bale.
I felt it. I really did feel the Christian Bale. And believe it or not, I like Ben Affleck as an old, rugged, tired Batman, getting his ass kicked, taking off his stuff, having the bruises and going, taking a drink, going, I'm getting tired of this shit. I like that. I'm okay with the Ben Affleck Batman.
I don't hate Ben Affleck.
But
I'm with you on that because I couldn't see. I like Christian Bale as Batman. I like Keaton. I really like Christian Bale as Batman too,
Shut the
and I
fuck
like
up.
Ben Affleck in the sense that I couldn't see Christian Bale playing the same role as Ben
right.
Affleck played. I wouldn't believe it. You know what I mean? So I kind of
It's
agree.
like a different universe.
Yeah, it's the I've been doing this for so many years, and then you get the Rob Pattinson year
Affleck.
2, year 3 Batman, and he's all still like energetic and trying to figure his shit out and getting his ass kicked and learning and all that. So I like all that dichotomy the same way I like Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker because it's so real. It's real. It's a guy who's psychotic.
Yeah, he did a good job.
It's something that could really happen now.
Yeah,
you know? And so.
Who would be the next person to play Flash? Because we remember we had Justin Grant that was a great Flash in the show. Even though the show, like he himself as a Flash was a good Flash. And then obviously Ezra's going to get killed out. Would they bring Justin, or you think they're going to get somebody completely brand new?
I don't know about brand new, lesser known is the way I'd like to see a lot of these heroes cast. It doesn't have to be brand new, but just lesser known. Someone you might have seen a couple times in some, TV shows or some films. Just lesser known is the way to go for me.
Good example.
The guy from The Boys.
The Supergirl?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know who that is, right? The one who's playing Supergirl in the Cal, whatever her name is.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. They could have casted some big known actress and be like, oh, look at that.
Thanks, Tyler.
But the fact now that they have, I kind of do like when they bring in some unknown actors going, oh, I think I saw that person on Netflix, whatever it is. I like that. That's how everybody gets their start. I hate when they keep rehashing the same actors, like, oh, like you just said, Nick, oh, it's the guy from The Boys. Yeah, all right. It's like, okay.
So, you know how earlier we talked about people that are like, hey, synonymous to this character? Chris Evans, to me, was a perfect Captain America. Y'all agree or disagree?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you can't compare it to the Captain America from the 1970s. That's for damn sure. So, yeah, he's the only Captain America.
I don't disagree. I can't disagree. But it's because, like Caesar just said, right? Like we don't. He's Captain America so long that we don't know.
There's only been one Hugh Jackman, right? So we can't say Wolverine, but there's been many Batmans. There's been a few Captain Americas. There's been quite a few Hulks.
I thought at the time they cast him, I thought Matt Damon could have played him.
Who as
Cap?
But
back then,
in his Jason Bourne days, right?
Yeah, Jason Bourne days could have
for sure.
Just because he has that look that you believe is, when he says the Captain America one-liners and those things, like Matt Damon just has that American as apple pie look, but Chris Evans was great. Yeah, and he got in shape for the role.
But he's got that Boston accent. Yeah, throws you off there a little bit.
It does. But he acts well enough that he could act it away.
Yeah, of course he can.
Me neither.
I remember the first time you hear Henry Cavill speak normal, you're like, Superman's not British.
I agree with Billy. I agree.
Yeah, it is. Because it's really hard, and it's funny because with Black Widow, by killing off Black Widow, and they bring in Melina, Belina, whatever her name is, she's gonna be the next Black Widow. I'm buying it. Okay, because in the comic books, I'm cool with that. But the way they do now with the Marvel Universe, hey, don't worry, just go into another universe, grab that Black Widow, and then bring it to Earth, and then we're all good. And then we got what's the face all over again.
I mean, the only Marvel cast that I really didn't particularly care for is Gamora.
Oh, really?
You didn't like Gamora?
I just thought she was too small.
Okay.
Gamora's like skinny, and I once had a debate with someone where they were upset because I forget who it was. Because Robert Pattinson had publicly said that he wasn't going to work out and get buff to play Batman, and people were upset and like, this is a requirement. And I remember saying, well, Samuel Jackson didn't get buff to play Nick Fury, and and none of the women get buff to play their roles. And they're like, well, that's expected. I'm like, this is what the person was saying to me. Like, well, it's expected that the women shouldn't have to because they're generally fit. And I'm like, Gamora is a beast. Like, Gamora is one of the deadliest women in the universe. She's not, some skinny knock Zeldana. she's not like this skinny. She's like taller than most men. And like
a
a beast and like ripped. And so I didn't really like that casting. I thought it was like, okay, we're just gonna cast someone who's really dope. People are attracted to her, and we can get away with this. But it's Gamora.
Yeah, I think most of the Marvel women just have to do squats. I think that's the only thing they care about.
Peter makes a good point on that.
Good butt cheeks in a leather suit, and
you know what? But
right,
Peter. Yeah, she did get jacked, and I'm kind of glad they killed her off because I don't like that.
And I agree with Diaja too, that I didn't really care for Scarlett's casting as Black Widow.
See, she can be recasted.
Yeah.
No problem.
What really stood out to me was Gamora, because unlike all of the other women before her, with the exception of She-Hulk, who came after, Gamora's really like, she's not one of the deadliest women in the universe for nothing, and one of the strong. She's much bigger than the average guy standing around her.
Captain Marvel, yeah.
You know what I mean? She's just not this little dainty woman.
Right.
No, I feel you. Yeah, you know what? For the most part, can you recast Hawkeye? Probably. You could
you're right.
Hawkeye.
Good point. Good point.
You could recast Hawkeye. You could probably recast Gamora. It's all makeup anyways, right? You could recast Scarlet. But who you can't recast?
I don't know if you can recast Scarlet. Honestly, now it's like I see her as Scarlet Witch.
But we as humans get so tunnel vision, and that we get so used to seeing the same person over and over again that whenever they put it in someone new, we have that instant shock therapy of what the fuck just happened, because we now remember.
I don't believe Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner. I just don't.
Still, and he's been Bruce Banner for quite some time now.
And I never believed it.
I hate it so much.
Anybody replace Professor X?
Yes.
Yeah, they did it, and I was okay with it.
I
was okay with John McAvoy. I didn't mind.
He's good.
He's good.
I
like him.
Speaking of which,
obviously Patrick Stewart was Professor X, but I didn't miss him when John McAvoy showed up.
Check this out.
The reason why it worked because he played a young Professor X. That's why.
Shout out to Martin Zavala, Airbrush.
That's dope.
Dude.
That's really dope.
Sick.
Why do you have that and I don't?
Lex Luthor.
See, that's why John McAvoy worked.
This is unbelievable.
Because he was playing a younger version of Patrick Stewart, and that's why it worked.
I think it was crap either way. I didn't like those movies. They were decent to me. The only part was when Quicksilver was running everywhere. I do like that scene.
I didn't mind Days of Future Past. Matter of fact, I kind of liked it a lot actually when it first came out.
I wanted to throw the franchise in someone else's trash.
Now it's true. I would. Now I'll tell you what. I never ever, and I never do this. I never saw. Only because people told me don't was Dark Phoenix or the Phoenix Saga, whatever the fuck that was called.
I mean, it could be worse. It could be Fantastic Four, or you know what I mean? Like,
oof.
Every Fantastic Four we have. What Fantastic Four?
No, the Dark Phoenix.
Because
who's the girl that can really act? That's in that movie.
Which one?
Isn't that the? Oh, that was
She plays the villain.
Wasn't that Bryce Dallas Howard?
No, not Bryce Dallas Howard. She looks like Bryce Dallas Howard though.
Oh,
but it's not Bryce Dallas Howard.
What do you mean? I thought it was Bryce Dallas Howard who played the villain.
No, it's the girl from like she captained the spaceship in that movie where they got stuck in space. I think Ben Affleck was in it. Not Ben Affleck, Matt Damon was in it, where he got stuck on Mars and like he was part of her crew.
I know the movie you're talking about.
Yes,
I have a movie.
She's like in a ton of films, and she can really act. She looks like Bryce Dallas Howard, but it's not her.
Yes.
Brian Cranston.
She was the redeeming quality for that Phoenix movie. She played the villain.
But the funny thing is, I've never not watched movies because some people told me don't watch. I usually will watch it for my own opinion.
Jennifer Lawrence.
For some odd reason,
she did a good job.
That movie just didn't. I guess people said just don't watch it, Caesar. I said okay.
Yeah, you did.
She's got the dimple in her chin. She looks like
you listen to people instead
red
of
hair.
Watching the movie.
Yeah, I know. Not Jennifer. It's
She played the villain in that film.
Oh, I have her.
I'll Google it. Dark Phoenix.
Now, there you go. That's a good example. So Samuel, right? So we were so used to what's her face play Mystique for
Sophie
so
Turner,
long in the X-Men movies,
It
right?
was definitely better.
Jessica
And
I like-
Chastain.
Jessica Chastain.
Jessica Chastain. Oh yeah, she
Somebody
was.
said Chastain.
Oh, she's a good actress, actually.
She's a really good actress, and
She is
she
a
was
good
like the redeeming quality of that movie. She played
was
the
actually
villain.
she was in Sicario, I think.
Oh, that was a good show. Okay,
Okay.
let me stop it here because we're gonna
Yeah, I
continue
know.
going
We
on.
go
We're
on
supposed to
for
end this
hours.
20 minutes ago. This always happens. We go in there fucking like on. We will be another show. We can talk some more, guys. It was fucking awesome. Before we do, Nick, let people know what you do, where you're at, so they can follow you and get some stuff. Ish as well. Fucking shameless plug at the end of the show. You know how it is. So Nick, you go first.
All right. I have a page called Comic Book Page, and Caesar and Dell are admins there as well. And it's just a really nice community. That's what it's all about. It's about promoting each other. We like to have artists in there. We promote their work. Our exclusive is, an indie book that's written, drawn, colored, all the art, everything is done by David Gerard in Canada. Great dude, friend of mine. Cool book. That's our exclusive from him. Ed Kills the Dead, #1. Really neat book, fun story, zombie stuff, hulking out shit. It's awesome. Aside from that, comic book page, check it out. It's just a nice.
Nick, plug your
my shop.
Your shop.
I'm a mechanic. What are you gonna do? I own a pretty large automotive facility. I'm a mechanic. We fix cars. It's in South Florida, West
Nick,
Palm Beach.
Fuck Caesar. Look, hey, you need to promote the corner with how we're gonna be doing a spotlight for now on. You need to promote that.
Promote what? The corner?
The artist spotlight.
Oh, the artist spotlight. Yeah, that's right. We are going to be doing that. That's actually James Earl Jones' idea, and he's going to be doing some like a nice little video that features some artist, spotlights of
Darth Vader
artwork. James Risecamp is his real name, but his Facebook name is James Earl Jones.
Yeah, he's an admin on the page.
He's an admin in the page. Great dude. Yeah, we just like to support people. It's not always about money. Selling books is just part of it. It's fun. My day job pays for my life, so selling books is just kind of how I move money around to get what I want out of comic books. I'm a collector, and the book is just about. The comic book page is just about having a community where we can ensure no one's getting screwed, and it's just a safe place to buy, sell, trade, collect, and support artists. Because for me, not being a reader, the artwork is what sells the book. The cover is what you see first, and the artists need to be known, and they got to get paid. So, Ernest McClendon is another guy that we like and support. He does Onyx Comics is his page, and he's just a nice dude. I met him at MegaCon this year, and turns out we've been Facebook friends for a couple of years, didn't even realize it. And that's it, man. It's just a nice place to hang out.
And Ish.
I didn't cut a promo.
You shut your
So now I'm about to cut the promo. First of all, people, this is what time it is. I need you to go follow the comic menu. I need you to go follow the comic page. Y'all done seen us kick it for 2 hours. Cool people, real people. Nick just said the stuff for the comics community out there that we like to hear, right? It's not always about making money. It's about us wanting you to win. That having been said, I'm Ish. I'm Issue X. I have a comic page called Comic Sense. That is the page, COMIXSENSE. That is the page. That is the group Comic Sense. Comic Sense on Instagram. Comic Sense on YouTube. ISHUE.X on Instagram as well. Who are we? We are the Robin Hoods of the unfair market. Our goal is to bring you the best value anywhere. No one in the country pre-sale is better than us. No one in the country is going to give you a better value than us. Our motto is we want all of the smoke with the unfair market. Middle finger. Middle finger to the unfair market. And it's not even subtle. I just told you all the places to go to find us. Hopefully, Dell will have me back on again. Really appreciate you, Dell. Really appreciate you, Caesar, Nick. Thank you for having us on. Shout out to the Comics Crowd community crew. Shout out to the Comics menu crew, everybody who showed up and showed out. Really appreciate you. That's all I got to say.
Awesome.
So I'm not gonna follow that up. Caesar is.
Hey, listen, I got to give credit to Ish's people because we saw some new names up here, and I hope to see you guys back here next week, and actually the week after that, and so on and so on, because we are booked, as you heard it from Dale, we're booked till August with people. I mean, come on, we have the creator of Philadelphia coming up, right? That's pretty big. So follow me on Instagrams, the real Dracula's Wolf. I'm growing on there, and I'm great. I'm getting another family. I have my Facebook family that I've had for years, and now I'm gaining another family on Instagram. And hey, you know what? I just saw my first logo today. I had Amy was created my new logo. It's Dell saw it. It's pretty good.
Do you want to show it off or what?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I'll have to show off because I still got to pay her for it. So, it's one of those things that, once again, we preach, we talk about being good people, weed out the bad, bring in the good, and let's give this new genre of people who are getting in this community a good light to follow, and not rip them off when we sell books. Educate when we sell books, educate when they buy, and how to sell and all that good stuff. So thank you guys. We're going to see you guys next week.
Guys, and with me, I don't want the whole spotlight. Every Wednesday we'll be on 8 o'clock. I've been trying to get more people, more books. I'm booking more people. It hasn't been updated because I'm waiting for a couple of responses. But if you've already seen the list, we'll get great people. I don't think we'll have anybody as good a spec as Ish, because Ish is one of the better guys when it comes to that and talking about some stuff. So, but we'll bring in some artists. We're gonna bring in some creators. Next week we do have a big group, not big group, but he does a lot. Would be Stephen McDonald from Clan McDonald's crew. And you know who you gotta know who they are. Like they're a big part of the community. They do all these art, all this spec, all this indie stuff they sell. Like it's great, honestly. So we're gonna have them next week. Then the crew from the Comic Corner the following week with David Sanchez. So that's how we're gonna end up with the month of June with some great comic retailers with a great artist. It's gonna be awesome, sweet. Follow us on the comic menu here on YouTube and on Twitch and on Kick. Got the mention Jardinick. Get the Mason Jardinick. And please give another shout out to the people that I work for, Comic Corner, and for Cash with Sinbad Comics. He got some of the best deals out there. You work with you payment plans. Please follow. And I'm like I said, I'm an admin with the comic book group. Also the owner of Epic Comics and Collectibles as well.
Comic book page.
And then another admin for South Texas Comic Con, which is Ramsey was here. So I've been trying to be involved in everything as much as possible. I'm here and there. I'll say hi. I'll drop in. Every time I go and fucking Asian show, though, they always ignore my comments because they're always selling. It's always 89 before, and it's like, oh shit. Should I comment? I wait and I pause, and then I say, hey. And by the time I put, hey, well, we're not gonna be wasting your time, guys. Boom, 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 boom. They pull the fucking books, and then next year, and then you see numbers. I'm like, fuck. It's hard to like say hi to this guy because they're always like, okay, next books, because they're not only doing Marvel, DC, they're also doing indie, and it's always a lot of spec, and they don't talk about it. At the time that he talks is when I try to comment.
And it's interesting, Dale, because I never see the stream while I'm on the stream, and they never tell me. You know what I mean? Someone said something.
Oh, they don't do that. They don't moderate the chat.
No, they do.
They just don't tell you when Dale says something.
They just don't tell me when people say stuff. If they like Rich doesn't read. Shout out to Rich doesn't read. He's our camera guy. He picks and chooses what he wants to tell me. People say, and I purposely don't watch the stream while I'm on the stream selling books.
Trying to concentrate.
Right, exactly. And it's a good show. It's always fun. It's always informational. But with that being said, guys, see you next week. we try to cut it at an hour and a half. When it gets good like this, it always goes longer, so you can tell.
It's dope.
Oh,
Thanks for
excellent.
having me.
What's the meaning of this disturbance?